just for soundboard
Yeah.
purposes. But then I'm like, I streamed twice a week, maybe this last month. So I was like,
But you can also use it as like you can make it do hotkeys and stuff. So if you have like macros you want to use for Ableton or whatever, you can use it for whatever. And they have profiles. And you can have it so if it detects a specific program running, it'll swap to that profile.
oh,
Which is nice. Or not running, or active, I guess. Like if you click on the Photoshop or something, bam, your hotkeys will come up. And then if you switch back to Ableton, boom, the hotkeys for that will come up if you like. Like it's pretty flexible for the most part so far. And I'm just upgrading some small stuff here. And welcome, by the way. We'll get to the opening here, even though we're recording. But I'm buying some time.
But does it make you breakfast in the morning?
I can actually. Technically, I can make it send a HTTP request so it can order me something on DoorDash. If that's a I can technically probably.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, I can probably get it to do that, but I don't know what food services allow me to do that, like through API endpoints. So if they have any, I downloaded Chatterino. That way I can have both. Like it's a great Twitch chat management software. So now I have you can put multiple tabs, split chats in between the tabs. So I have a tab called podcast channels. So now I see Kelsey's chat and my chat in one tab. So when his chat wants to talk shit, Papa's gonna see it now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm always talking shit.
I know, but I'm okay with it. Anywho, yeah, Randall's completely late because it's Randall. He'll come in when he wants to. This is the ADLR podcast.
when he comes to sit down, he should pretend that he's attending.
Like now. Look at him. Look. Make sure to hit the middle switch. Upward. There we go. The camera's gonna adjust and whatever the case is, but you'll figure it out. Is he good? You gonna throw up? What the hell? I don't know. He had a weird. He's over walking like this. I'm like, what? This show's starting off fucking gangbusters right now.
Because he had semen residue on his lips, though.
You good? Is she in the lake now? No. Oh, okay. You must have said something. Anywho. Oh, I forgot to do that. It's like this. My bad. And then save. I should put some time into making that app. Anywho. Or just command, whatever. Anywho. Wow, this has turned out to start off like trash. So let's keep it moving. We're missing a man here this week, but yeah, it's all connected. You just put that on, you're good to go.
Nick not coming?
No, he's got work. Yeah.
Is he gonna vomit? Like, what is with the towel?
I don't know. He has yet to. I don't know. He probably shaved his mustache.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. Like, Randall, what are you doing?
I got punched in the face.
Randall, it slipped just now. There was no blood.
It's because I'm holding it. If I let it go, it's gonna stop bleeding again.
Got it. Okay.
He let go of it, though.
Yeah. We just saw it. It's too late. There's a frame of it gone, Randall. So you're not bleeding. That looks like it hurt. Did you go with a blade?
Is it bleeding now?
No.
Yo, it was like a second ago. It was like bleeding profusely. Like it looked like I did get punched in the face.
Did you get punched in the face this week?
I just told you she punched me in the face.
No, because if she punched you in the face, she'd be in the lake.
He does have that pedo stash going, so
He might have gotten punched just randomly. All right. Anywho, we got Randall here this week. We got Weird TV here this week. We got Brian here this week. And we got some stuff to review this week. You know, we got some Cruella. We got Infinite, Luca, which I'm excited to hear about because I've actually that's in my watch log. I wanted to watch it. Watch log. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think Nick saw it too.
Do you want to hold
I think
off?
he finally got to. I can. It doesn't matter. I was gonna ask you guys if you wanted to hold off on Cruella and things until he gets back, or what. Like, it looks like we have some stuff to cover, so we can leave that stuff for the end, and if we don't get to it, we can save it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm fine either way, but I am gonna be a little upset because I stood up late just to make sure I watched that for today.
So, okay, I gotta get this out. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about a little bit about this, just real quick. So
Okay.
I haven't seen the animated version in probably over 20 years. Okay, most of what I remember about the animated version is Cruella and the dogs, and that's it. Okay,
Mhm.
there are very few other images that are in there.
Okay.
It wasn't until shut up, woman, go away. Nobody talking to you. It wasn't until like 3/4 of the way through the movie that I realized who the two goons were for that were with Cruella. I was
Okay.
like, oh, that's the tall guy, and then that makes sense that that's the fat dude that he's always getting yelled at,
Yeah.
right? And then the picture popped in my head where he's like real skinny with the big nose and the hat, because I don't think he ever wore a hat like that until like
Only
3/4 of the way to the movie, and then it
Yeah.
like triggered. She's getting all up in my fucking grill because I still didn't know until you said it at the very end. Like I didn't realize that was the wife in the original animated one until the
Uh-huh.
very end when they handed the until the very end,
Yeah.
right? And it was because both Roger and her don't really play a massive part in the animated version.
No.
And I
they don't.
again haven't seen it in 20 years, woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Fuck.
Roger?
They
I
weren't.
didn't say they weren't important.
Yeah, but they
I
didn't.
said they didn't have a big. They wouldn't have a bunch of screen time.
Yeah, they didn't have airtime as much as they did.
Okay, I remember the dogs and Cruella because that's it.
Because that's the relationship that she hates Dalmatians, and then this kind of sheds light on kind of why.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the parent stuff wasn't prominent. Like, yes, it's important, but there was no airtime for that in the animated series. Like, not.
But
as
again,
much as,
20 years.
yeah,
Haven't seen anything about it.
yeah.
Didn't remember it. I remembered Roger's name. And that was it. Didn't
Who's
remember Anita's
Roger?
name. Roger's the husband. That's the lawyer.
Okay.
That's the bushy beard lawyer guy
Yeah.
in the movie.
Okay.
He's got it now. He's caught up.
I think he's clean shaven in the animated series.
You
Yeah.
got it, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I'm not great with names.
I mean,
And
we
20 years, okay?
we can go straight into Cruella. We're already talking about it. We might as well get into it. You know, like
That's fine. I mean, I just wanted. I said we could save it for next week, and bitch tits McGee over there screaming, "Oh, we talking about it tonight. We gonna talk about it."
Is that me?
no, Shannon.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's fine.
I've bitch shits before, so I don't know.
Oh, gotcha. That's fine. I mean, we can do it now. Are we talking about Brian or Shannon?
I was talking about Shannon.
Okay.
Okay.
The peanut gallery was over there screaming, "We talk about it tonight. You gonna learn today."
Right. And Randall, you said you just not gonna watch it.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be here to start this off with. You should watch it. I watched when we watched it. I sat and first of all, awesome movie from beginning to end. Second,
Yes,
Emma Stone, her performance as Cruella, fantastic.
absolutely amazing.
She swaps.
It was almost like she was born to play the part. Like like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Yeah.
She was born to play this. This was amazing.
Yeah, her from
I
her
was
mannerisms. Go
I was
ahead.
very iffy on her until the final fountain scene, and I'm like, "You're doing it."
Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be a scene for me that stood out. You talking about when she's talking to the fountain at like
The
almost
last
a lot.
time.
She did it again the same way she had that monologue when she sang in La La Land with the
La La
bro.
Land.
Yeah, she had that moment again with the fountain scene, and I'm like, okay, well, she one continuous shot, her going through the range of emotions. It was great. Emma Stone knocked it out of the park. And shout out to I forgot his name. He played in the movie where you're guessing if he put the bomb underneath the stadium.
Wasn't
the
he
fat dude,
also-
the small fat dude. I forgot
he's
his
the fat
actor
dude
name.
from the movie about the lady who used to figure skate.
Yeah, the I, Tonya.
Yeah.
He played the
What is this other movie about the under the stadium?
Yeah, there's like a movie that he's like the main actor where he plays a security guard, and then he finds a bag like with explosives at like a public event. I forgot what it was called. If you're looking through, let me look it up real quick. I guess
Isn't it Finding Nemo?
and that's not Finding Nemo, but we're gonna go with that. You know, I can quickly
I
grab.
don't. I mean, none of these names look like they would be.
I'm gonna click on the guy and see what comes up. Paul
Talking
Walter
about-
Hauser.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Jewell is the movie. He plays a character called Richard Jewell, and the premise is like he happens to like we don't know if he's the one that planted it himself for the fame, for the whatever, and he gets into this huge thing, and our boy Sam Rockwell's in it too. Great. Yeah. I definitely recommend that. But we're here talking about Cruella. Great performance by him, from everyone. From what was the woman's name that she was up against? Which
Baron?
The Baroness. Great fucking performance.
Yeah, Emma Thompson is
Emma,
amazing.
thank you.
I
Go
wanted
ahead,
to
Brian.
point out two things. I wanted to point out from the trailer I saw.
Yeah,
Again, didn't really see the acting in it. I was like, why isn't she Cruella,
yeah,
the Baroness? Second thing, the person who owned the store that hired Estella at the beginning, that's to do with the big teeth from Fleabag.
yes, that is. I saw when I saw him. I'm like, oh,
That's it.
which was different because he didn't have that get up from Fleabag. So I'm like, he's got this. The Baroness is the dialogue's written fantastically. The quips between people, the stabs at each other are so quick and fine. Like it's even if they're calling them dumb, unfashionable and stuff, it's like quick hits to the fucking gut, and you're like, oh, that gotta hurt their self-esteem, but it's in a funny way. And the back and forth between Stella / Cruella versus Baroness was fantastic. The ball that they had when they had like the whole Ocean's 11 heist at the house,
Awesome.
hilarious. It was great.
I love the Wink is probably one of the coolest characters ever. Okay.
Yes. It's a CG fucking character, but that eye patch, let's go. I don't care what anyone says, I'm gonna kiss you right in the mouth. Like he was so excited to be seen. Yeah.
Carry your mouse big.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah. The guys who played Jasper and Horace did an incredible job.
Yes.
With not taking like the focus off of Cruella and being those like side supporting characters. Like it was just absolutely amazing.
From top to bottom, it's definitely a very good time. I highly recommend watching Cruella. What else? The music in it was great. Even the kid actors were great. In the beginning of the movie, where you're like, sometimes the kid actors' parts are like annoying or like, it's not as great as the adult ones. Even those kids that were portraying those characters early on, great.
I liked the songs they played. I don't know if it fit the movie, but I just liked the songs, so I didn't complain.
And for people who like fashion, this movie has it. There's a bunch of very creative dresses and get-ups that I'm like, oh shit, I don't know anything about fashion, but there's some stuff I'm like, damn, that looks lit. Like there was the trash bag one, the one when they trapped her inside the car and and she unveiled it over her. I'm
I
like
that one.
I don't know about fashion, but that knocks right there. That's it. That slaps. All of it was cool. Like the one where she the booby trap on the dress and then it fucked up her entire show. Though that back and forth between them was just awesome. They were one-upping each other every time. I don't know, how she became to be, the twists of her upbringing. I guess it's like a very good supplemental movie to the animated series, so you kind of get her side of how she got to be how she is. It was a great origin story, I guess, what this movie would be. So, you guys have anything else? I'll have his gush at this point. So, like,
a complaint that I don't know if it's too big of a complaint or just a nitpick. The CG almost always looked bad, especially on the last scene, the explanation scene at the end of the movie. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Oh, you're talking about the on the cliff?
Yeah, how she did it.
Yeah. That I was saying that about the dog too. Like I was like, is that a no? That's clearly not a real dog. Like like at first you're like, that could be a real dog, and there's a couple of scenes that you're like, okay, that could be a real dog. And then like it starts at it's clearly like out of place.
Yeah.
When you watch parts of it. That's kind of my only gripe with it as well. But all in all, like it was done fantastically. Like everything was just absolutely amazing.
I'm right there with you. Like, there's definitely stuff in this. I forgot about CG to mention that. Like, there's sometimes when she's holding the small dog and when as a kid, and I'm like, that's a fake ass dog, my God. Like, it wasn't composited in a way where the lighting matched or something. It looked off, and I'm like, that's fake.
Yeah.
The Dalmatians, fake as shit. Like you clearly tell what it was, but I'm like, it wasn't enough where I'm like, oh, unwatchable, you know?
So at the very beginning when she and I were watching, when Shannon and I were watching it, uh, I understand that you can train any dog to be an attack dog. Okay.
Okay.
But Dalmatians by nature are extremely passive and friendly. And so when we were watching the very beginning, we're like, this is already starting off kind of bad. Like this doesn't make any sense, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then like later when she has the epiphany and you get a little bit more information, you're like, okay, that's okay. I got it. I got you.
Because at first it did seem like they just freaked the fuck out and attacked her. So I was like, that was weird. But I don't know. I didn't know that Dalmatians were like completely passive. It just looked weird. Like that. Why did they stop chasing her? Because they know where she's at. They can smell her out. So I'm like, why did they just keep
Yeah.
going forward? And then once the revelation comes up, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fucking yes for me. Like for this year, you gotta watch this movie. It's just a good. It's just a great time. What are y'all thinking?
I liked it.
That's a
I
yeah.
would recommend it. Yeah.
100% recommend. Like I was a little iffy going into it as well because I was like, I didn't see any of the trailers or anything, but I was like, this could go a couple of different ways. Is this going to be more focused on like her side with the way that the animated version was, or you know how it's going to go? But they nailed this. This was awesome.
I'm right there with you. It's just a good origin story for that character.
After like the big plot twist and then her actual transformation, I was like, she could be a good Joker, maybe a female Joker. If they ever do Flashpoint Batman, she could do it.
You think she'd be up to it? Okay.
I think from her Cruella, I'm like, maybe.
She's got range,
Put it
man. Emma Stone got it, man. I gotta give her that. That is a bona fide actress right there. God bless her. And that's it, short and sweet, man. Go watch it, my guy. Like that's what we want. Randall, me and you got something to talk about here, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember what's on the thing.
That's fine. I do though. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm gonna guide you with you. We're gonna talk about Infinite.
Did you get hit by one?
We did get a hit with an Infinite. You know, a Mark Wahlberg movie, streamable on Paramount Plus, I think it was, and then it's a Mark Wahlberg movie about I guess the premise is it's a world where people live multiple lives through, like, let's say Kelsey, right now your life, you grow to be 80 years old, whatever the case is, your soul is passed on to someone else, and you can trigger your past lives and all the knowledge in different ways.
Like Avatar.
Yes, sort of like. Thank you. That's when I was watching. I'm like, this is like something I've seen, and I'm like, oh, the Avatar. Yes, you know how the Avatar it doesn't like come right away. It's just like you have to tap into it, and now you can get the guidance of. Say again.
You have to stroke it a bit.
Yeah, like you have to get like you somehow have to tap into it, then you can get the guidance of the previous avatars in different ways. It's sort of like that, but once you trigger it, you get all it. It comes flashing back. So Mark Wahlberg is one of those types of people. Like not everyone can do this. I forgot what they were called. Do you remember if they were? Anywho, those type of people are split into two different factions: the believers and the bad guys. I forgot what the bad guys were called. The bad people.
Nihilists?
That sounds right. The nihilists. Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't know if it's accurate.
It's nihilists question mark with the believers. The believers want to keep this type of thing to continue to going, so that way knowledge gets passed on, etc., etc. The nihilists think this is like hell for them because they have to relive the life of whatever, and they want to stop this from happening. So they're doing anything they can to find a way to stop people from reincarnation. Mark Wahlberg is one of those people without knowing, and then someone gets tipped off that he is one because he knows how to make a sword that's only been taught like he's a swordman, he knows how to make swords, but the style that he makes was only known for like hundreds of years ago or whatever the case, like feudal Japan. Like no one's been making these swords since then or whatever the case was. So then he gets picked up by, at first we thought was a friend, but ended up being the nice people, but then gets saved by the believers. So now he's with the believers learning about his past, and with us as the viewers learning how this thing works. And that's mostly it. Is once he gets caught up with whatever he needs to learn, he needs to stop the Nihilists from basically ending all life, because that's how they wanted to do it. They found a way to end all life with some sort of tech that they've made up, and now they have to stop them. And that's where my first complaint comes in. Because we spent most of the time with Mark Wahlberg going, what was my past? Instead of like digging deep into everyone else who's been there, like what have they learned? It's one of those like only he can save us. And I'm like, well, that's kind of boring, you know? So once you figure out that he's like he's the only one that can save us, you can kind of, you know who's going to be safe. You know how they, like, it becomes cookie cutter after that. You're like, okay, well, wait. Oh, the epiphany that he needed at this time, there it is. And he saves the day. Like, it's nothing to guess at. Go ahead, Kelsey. It seemed like you were going to say something.
So is this like, kind of like Monster Hunter, where they just spend too much focus on a particular set instead of on what the possibilities could be, you know? Or is it more like, what was the movie with the Limitless movie with Scarlett Johansson, where it's just...
Oh, no, he doesn't get, like, super overpowered in any way.
No, but, like, that it's like they spend a whole bunch of time building up to this one spot, and then it's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah. Like, the bad guys are done. All right, so, like, we didn't get the back and forth between... Like, you know, I hate to bring this up, but you know how Assassin's Creed, we get the battle between the Templars and the Assassins. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. What happened? It's basically, hey, we've been at this war for whatever. Now it's this guy's time to save the day. And then we just follow Mark Wahlberg saving the day. Granted, there is some like fights and stuff, but he makes it because he's the protagonist, because he's the only person that can do this, apparently.
It's not like in Assassin's Creed 2 where you like, or even the first one where you get some information about what's going on, and then you get pulled out of the real world, you find some other stuff out, and then you go back in and you find some other things out, and then like at the very end is when you have the epiphany, and then shit just kind of rolls together.
Yeah, for me I was disappointed because it sounded like a good premise with the reincarnation stuff, and I was hoping, like, I guess I would have liked to see that stuff throughout the ages. Like have like even if it's like a 2-3 movie, like them going at it throughout the ages, and then they'll die and reincarnate as somebody else, and we have to figure out who it is, and them getting something like that. I don't know, but it cuts to with this reincarnation, we cut to the one guy, he saves the day. I don't think there's going to be any other war, and it ends that way. And it's like, okay, well, they just throw it out instead of just spending time with it. Like this would have been a cooler, like maybe TV series or something, if they fleshed more of the world out, more conflicts. Like there's no squad of people, like especially if you have like a team of people who've learned knowledge from who knows when. Like you would have like, oh, this is the heavy build. This guy right here. He back in 1940 whatever lifted a building or some shit. I don't know. Like get something with it. Like it was just everyone knows how to fight because because they just learned it from back then. Oh, he's gonna be the sacrifice here. Please feel something for him. We didn't know anything about him besides he's on the believer side. We don't know who liked each other.
The movie itself is fairly short, but like an hour and 40 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like most of those movies, like if they really just did 2.5 hours, like that's the sweet spot for like being able to portray a whole bunch of information and then really kind of tie it all together. But it doesn't sound like the length of this movie would have really made that much of a difference. It sounds like they just had the wrong focus. They focus too, like in Monster Hunter, they focus too much on the what's here and now versus what the world has to offer.
And I think yes, that's what basically happened here, because I think 2/3 of the movie is, hey, let's help Mark Wahlberg get his memory back. So because what he remembers is what the key is to either A, kill everyone or stop them from killing everyone. So the entire time is please remember. When he remembers, oh, I remember, and then now that's it. There's some cool action sequences. Some of them were kind of short, but it's not enough for me to be like, yo, go watch this, man. You know, there's some crazy freaking plane scene lit. There's also some suspension of disbelief, because there's an injury he sustains where I'm like, where's that injury? Where I'm like, this guy's not gonna make it. Final fight, not a problem. just going in there, fighting, doing whatever he needs to. And I'm like, that. You less than a couple hours ago, my guy, you were bleeding out. Like, what'd you do? You know,
He remembered how to ignore the pain.
that might have been it. You know, but
Sounds like Chuck. Like, come on.
yeah, and then bam, I can do this. But it's not in a comedic way. It's like they take themselves serious. And I think that's why I'm like, if this was like a sort of parody or like joking about it, then it would be more entertaining. But this one was like, okay, we saw it. You know, there's some. I'm gonna go with a no here, Ren. I don't know if you have anything else to add, but Mark Wahlberg looks great in it. You can tell he's still working out. I guess that's a plus. You know.
You remember the name of the main antagonist? I don't remember the actor's name.
I don't remember the actor's name.
Actor.
Oh, the actors are fine.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, the one that was helping.
Talking about Chiwetel
Mordo.
Ejiofor.
That may be it. Give me a sec. Sorry, I gotta look it up.
Talking about the black guy that turns bad at the end of Doctor Strange.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, that's him. You're right. You got that name right.
I don't know that I pronounced that right, but
Right, we did what we could. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock you for that. But yeah, the performances were fine. It's just dialogue was whatever. The writing was okay, and then the plot points were like they weren't giving me what I wanted personally, which was like, okay, you had a good idea, a good concept here, and then they just scaled it down to like 6 people. Like with Brian, your gripe with the Civil War in Marvel was like, this is supposed to be like a huge thing that includes a lot of people. This sounded like that's the same thing, and they just focused on like 5 people.
Civil War was a dodgeball game at a fucking carrier.
Yeah.
Helicopter carrier.
Yeah, I don't
Aircraft
know.
carrier is the correct one.
Yeah, I think that's the correct.
Take 7. Go take 7.
I wonder if this chat window thing's working because I don't see any movement there. Is anyone typing in each other's chats?
No.
nope.
Okay, it works. Brian typed moose. Yeah, I don't know.
Mine.
Yeah, yours works too. I can see both. I know what else, Randall. What you got? You enjoyed him as an actor.
Everything you said is pretty much it's just.
But I mean, there is much not like if he had something else to add, that'd be great. But it's just so average. Like it's so like okay, it's an action flick. They did, what they wanted to do, and that's it. Like there was nothing. What's Nick saying? Nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
That's this movie.
All right, so here's one thing that really bothered me about the movie is this movie could have ended, I don't know, 5 minutes or 10 minutes after it started.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
like
true.
15 minutes after it started, because so the main bad guy who's like leading all of this thing, the reason why he wants to destroy people who can reincarnate or pretty much everything on Earth is because he can't deal with the fact that when you're the way it's, at least the way they explain it in the movie, the way it's supposed to happen is when you are reincarnated, you are supposed to gradually get your memory back of your previous lives over time as you're growing up. The way he explained it is he gets everything at one time before he's even born. Like he's in the fetus and he's remembering every life that he lived, bad, good, whatever. So I'm guessing it drove him mad. So he's like, he can't, that's his whole point, is that he can't deal with this. It's driving him crazy. It needs to end. So I'm like, well, why don't you just off yourself? Why do you need to kill everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
That would solve the problem. I mean, like, I'm not an advocate for
Self-harm.
suicide, but if
it sounds like he has a gripe with himself, not necessarily everybody else.
Yeah. So if you're at a point where you're like, deal with my problem or kill the rest of civilization, then maybe you should just handle the issue which is with yourself, not with everyone else, which is what I didn't understand about the movie. Like, how could you build an entire movie about a problem that a person has with themselves, not with everyone else? So it was like he could have easily just solved it, or so no one even brought it up. Even I would have gave them kudos if someone brought it up in conversation. Like if you got, because he had conversations with people, and
Yeah,
they're like,
they should have been like, why don't you just? Oh, thank you for reminding it. His group of people has special bullets, where if you shot somebody who reincarnates, they won't be able to reincarnate. So the bullet extracts the soul into the thing, into data, and then he has a wall filled of people he's killed that are stuck on this chip. So when they introduce that in the movie, I'm like, just shoot yourself, and then some with that bullet, and you won't reincarnate.
exactly.
And then the movie kept going, and I'm like, oh, okay. That thing you reminded me. I forgot about the bullet.
Yeah, essentially that's what it would be like. Like, you know, go live out your life, do what you want to do, and when it's time, when you're like you've had enough and you don't want to deal with it anymore, maybe you're old or some junk like that. Don't use a regular gun, use that gun.
Yeah.
And it'll be over with. But I don't know. That was probably my biggest hang up with the movie. Everything else Anthony said, I co-sign. It wasn't very entertaining. Huh?
You said very yes, so my first word is just to say
Sponge. So it's very sponge. Got it.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, Anthony, you said you liked the action. I thought I didn't.
You didn't even like the action either?
The only thing that I liked about that movie was the Aston Martin.
Oh yeah, they had the Aston Martin was in it. Looks clean.
He says it. He says the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
The acting of the actor that I mentioned.
Yes, the antagonist.
He does crazy really well.
Yes, he does.
That's it. The car and him.
That's fair.
The action was, I mean, it had potential, especially at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh snap, this might be lit.
Yeah, because the action sequence at first with the car and the turn, I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be supernatural shit. Like they're gonna be doing crazy things. Then they never bring it up until it was convenient again.
The whole movie was about trying to get this guy to remember who he was. That's all it was, and it was just going from location to location. Like, do you remember now?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
The bullet thing doesn't make any sense because it doesn't sound like they're actually dead. It sounds like they're trapped. The soul is trapped in the thing.
Yeah.
And so if you break the thing, then the soul would technically be free to be reincarnated.
Which I think is what happens because spoilers. The bad guy the antagonist gets destroyed, and they go to the wall where everything's there, and they just break everything. To me, signifying, oh, we've released them from their cages.
Nothing about anything that you've said really makes any sense. Like this does not sound like a good. Who authorized this?
Paramount Plus needed some exclusive movies, I'm assuming, and Mark Wahlberg's like, "Fam, I got you." Nah, you know, like that's something I think. Like,
if he just cryogenically froze himself, then that would mean that he'd just be like unconscious. No one gets shot, and no one's a bullet.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they say in movies that when people are frozen, that they still dream and stuff. They still dream.
Yeah.
Like their subconscious or their dreams
still active.
Yeah, but you won't get a whole other life to remember.
I don't know. Like I said, like that reincarnation stuff got me in the beginning. I'm like, oh, they might expand about this. They might do something cool. Nothing cool is done. They almost like negated it. It was just remember this, and then nobody's backstory and what they did. How do they be like the relationship with the squad that he starts off with when he joins the Believers? They're just like, oh, they look kind of cool. I guess they can fight. That's it.
I feel like they could have done a really cool Inception version of this, where they like start off with something, yeah, and then like cut to like him as the blacksmith from whenever, you know, and then something happens, and then he dies, and then he like all of a sudden when he dies, he just comes back to being the current, and then is like, okay, I got this, and starts doing stuff, and then maybe he like goes to sleep, and then he remembers something else, and it shows another past life, and then he wakes up and he's like, I got an idea, Yeah.
It would have been cool if they Tyler Durden it, where his whole squad is just reincarnated people he's remembering.
Oh, that would have been decent. Like you think he's talking to other people, but it's just in his head. Like the Avatar stuff, where he's like talking to Princess I'm bad with the
Bubblegum.
names. Not bubblegum. The one that they have that statue of the girl avatar.
Oh, Kyoshi.
Kyoshi, yeah. That she was badass, and like you know how she visits when he's trying to figure out a way to take down the Fire Lord without killing him, and everyone visits him to be like, "No, fam, sometimes you gotta kill people, bro." And then he's like, "No, there's gotta be another way." No, he asks like every of them, and they're like, "No, you gotta kill him."
Kyoshi's my favorite because she's like, bruh, take off your panties and fucking do something.
Yeah, that's why I like Kyoshi because she was like, "Bro, shut the hell up and go kill him." Oh man, but I don't know. I can't recommend this to people, man.
The idea was great.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I'm
unique
behind.
because I off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that I've seen in the past that like the story was about that.
I mean,
It's
Avatar
just the
did it, but it was
execution
just
was terrible.
one. Yeah, execution was terrible. Avatar did it with the Avatar that works, but this is like it's a bunch of like it's something that's just
I know it's AIM, right?
yeah, it's just
I know
avatars
he
that can do that.
reincarnates, right?
Yeah,
So
well, sort of. It's not reincarnation. It's just the wisdom's passed down. In a
he's
way.
not the same person as he was before. It's a different person.
Yes and no.
'Cause
Kelsey, I mean,
reincarnation would
fact
mean
check
that
me
they're the
here, I
same
guess, because
So he's his own person, but he has the ability to call on his past lives and like talk to them and get their knowledge and that kind of stuff. Also, I really want to point out that Randall doesn't know anything about this, and he knew the name more than M. Night Shyamalan did, and whatever the fuck that
in
was.
that movie, yeah.
Well, I watched it a little bit.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, if you watch it, then that's right. Because I was watching, and you were like, we were eating and stuff. And you'd watch while I was watching it. So those are facts. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a no on Infinite. Are you right there with me, or
Nah, I can't recommend it.
yeah, it's a pass. It's definitely a
year?
pass. No, it's not even of the. You know what I'm saying?
It's just game.
It's just game. You know, it's
For
not
a
of
year.
the. Nah, bro, none of
So
that.
In the game, it's
Yeah,
a premature idea still sitting at the table.
yeah, man.
Beta of the year.
No, beta means you've worked on like you got a playable build, my guy. You know? All right, Randall, let's keep it moving. Rogue Hostage, my dude. What is that?
I honestly don't know.
Oh my god. I can
Rogue
The
Hostage.
Tyrese.
Oh God, that's a god. I'm just gonna say, don't go watch it.
Oh, that's gonna be the shortest fucking but Malkovich is in it. He wasn't funny? Or good in it?
He was mediocre at best.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, this guy 3.1.
I mean, he's still funny, but it's like that movie was terrible, bro. You would get more entertainment by looking at the comments about the movie. Like hearing some of the stuff that people say about the movie is more entertaining than watching the movie itself.
So this is just a hard pass from just
to
don't
be
watch
fair-
this. Got it. Go
To be
ahead.
fair, a lot of times that's the case. YouTube comment section is almost.
It's its own entertainment, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
What are you looking for, homie?
Let's look at Rotten Tomatoes real quick.
Oh, that's a good
Where is it?
question. I wonder if either side gave it a good rating.
I don't think so.
What is it called? Rogue Hostage?
Rogue Hostage, yeah. This is gonna be the
That
quickest
name
fucking
just
review
sounds
ever.
dumb. Oh my god.
You see the cover? It looks like it's like a wannabe Mission Impossible cover.
Okay, you guys ready? You guys want to vote? Like, you guys want to guess what the tomato meter is versus the audience score?
I think the audience score is higher than the critic score. No, I think the audience score is lower than the critic score.
Okay, what are your percentages?
Oh, numbers? I don't know.
For each side,
Yeah,
Critics.
so I'm
what
gonna
do you
say
think?
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say 45 critics, 12 audience.
Randall, you want to give a guess?
I don't know. I just know the movie's terrible. So if
right, you guys-
if you said it was 0 and 2, I wouldn't be surprised.
Damn.
So the tomato meter, the professional reviews,
Yeah.
0,
Yeah. Damn. He got one of them.
and the audience score is 41. Now this is with fewer than 50 ratings.
Oh, okay.
Like, did this just come out?
Yeah, it's a recent.
June 11th.
June 11th. It came out within the month. So
Right. So I'm assuming that this is something that's going to get worse and worse as time goes over.
yeah.
And it's not really a big enough difference, I don't think, for us to watch as part of our like Tuesday thing if we ever
Yeah.
get back to it.
I don't know if that's
After
gonna.
this week, I should be available again. After tomorrow, I'm free up weekdays again.
Gotcha.
All right.
So we got to start planning that. Okay, so all right, so that's the hardest no I've ever seen. Just no.
I
All
would
right.
rather watch Hellboy.
Oh shit! Answer your question right there, Kelsey.
I was waiting for you to stop so I could ask.
Damn. Okay. Well then, shit. Let's keep it fucking moving. Do you have a long review for Misfits, or is that also just a fucking hard pass? Misfits is with
Is that the heist movie?
with Pierce? Yeah, with Pierce Brosnan, the old Batman, the old James Bond.
The James Bond to me.
What do I remember about that movie?
Did you say what do you remember about that movie? This is not turning. You didn't have a good week, my guy.
Man,
Is that Nick Cannon in this?
Yes.
yeah. Here's the thing, man. I don't know if we're still considered to be in a pandemic or not.
Yes. Technically, we're still in a pandemic.
Well,
But
with the fact that the CDC is recommending that even vaccinated people continue to wear masks because of variant D, I would go with yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But I'm not a.
with
health
that being
expert.
said, ever since this whole ordeal has happened, I personally feel like the movies have been lackluster, which makes sense because you don't have much time. People can't be around each other as much, and location is limited, and whatever. All those different things affect the movie. So,
You're missing one reason. Another reason.
what other reason?
Money. And by money, I mean we just saw a Quiet Place Part 2. That was ready last year. So we're getting trashed because all the good stuff is being held off so we can go back to the theater. And
Okay,
that's when
okay.
they can get their money from.
At first, I didn't understand what you meant about money, but now I understand. They're holding on because if they don't, if
'Cause
they
they
release now, they won't make any money.
They won't make as much money as people going to the theaters. And I'm
yeah.
sure it shows.
So, I just feel like a lot of the movies that I've been watching lately seem like movies that actors and actresses are taking just because either nothing big is being released because of what you said. Like, they're like, we're not releasing it now because when we do, we want it to be in theaters. So, therefore, you're getting a lot of B movies. And
Or C or
Misfits-
D movies.
Huh?
Or C or D movies.
Misfits feels like it is a B movie.
Okay. With
and,
Jerry Seinfeld?
Huh?
Huh? With Jerry Seinfeld?
With Jerry Seinfeld.
B movie? He played the B? Keep it moving.
I was
Randall.
wondering if he was going to get it.
Just keep it moving. Don't worry
I
about
mean, I
it.
used to watch Seinfeld, but I don't get that.
Don't get it.
You have to explain it now.
You said it's a B movie.
Yeah.
The name of the movie it's called a B movie. And Jerry Seinfeld plays the B in a B movie.
Is this an actual movie?
Yes, it's an animated movie, but it's called B. Oh, it's just called B movie, not a B movie.
Yeah.
It's called B movie, yeah.
Okay,
I've never seen that movie.
you don't need to.
Okay.
It's not-
All right, Randall. Imagine a movie where Seinfeld is a bee that kind of falls in love with a human.
That's weird.
You got it.
I mean, not weird.
Everybody in the audience that saw that was like with the husband or boyfriend or whatever, the guy that was like,
Yeah, like what the fuck? It's weird.
I mean, it's not weird in the sense that a insect fell for a woman because most species tend to like women.
Yeah.
But it's just weird that someone would make a movie about. Like, that's the whole point of the movie, is that this bee is in love with a human being.
Randall, I didn't watch it. I saw the trailer and I'm like, hard pass, and I think I made the right choice. But that's just me. You know?
Yeah. Misfits, it was a low budget heist movie.
Now, what did it try to be? Did it try to be an Ocean's 11? Did it try to be a Fast
I
and
think
Furious
every
movie?
movie that is a heist movie tries to be Ocean 11.
Okay.
Because, they do the whole plan it out, first they get the group together. Somebody in the group doesn't want to be in the group until someone says something that sways them to be in the group, and then next thing you know, everyone wants to be in the group.
You
and then
son
they
of
have
a
this,
bitch.
yeah, and then you have this elaborate plan where a bunch of people's like, I don't think we can pull this off because this is impossible. But then he says, yeah, we can do it. This is how we do it. Blah blah blah. Then there's a montage of them going through all the steps, and then they do said thing, and then they have issues along the way, but then they pull it off. But then it looks like they get caught or they don't do it. But then at the end, they show that what really happened. And I mean, it's all the same thing.
Cookie cutter heist movie. Now.
Yeah, but it's just that it wasn't entertaining. It was, I don't know why it was entertaining.
Because the magic, you need to have the actors, you need to have the dialogue, the quips back and forth. I think it's Steven Soderbergh who made Ocean's 11. Let me see. I don't want to speak out of.
What I would do is, if I made a heist movie, the second they're about to pull off, like they start trying to do the heist, one of the people just gets shot and killed immediately.
Jesus.
That way you don't know what the fuck's happening. Now that whole guy's missing on the plan, figure it out.
Yeah, Steven Soderbergh. It's the right people at the right time. Listen to this cast of Ocean's 11. George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Garcia, Julia Roberts, Bernie Mac, Elliot Gould, Carl Rayner, Don Cheadle. It's magic. What they had in that movie, that's not going to be redone again.
Until they have that Julia Roberts pretending to play Julia Roberts.
Yeah, like it's... people who are gunning for that, you just can't. You need to have the right people, the right screenwriter, like the director needs to be right. Like it's Soderbergh had what is it, the Chemical X from the Powerpuff Girls? He had that.
Yep.
He put that in the mix, and that's what came out. It just can't be it can't be redone. You just applaud it, and maybe someday you'll make something like that before, in your own way. But shit.
Yeah, man, I have my own opinions about how this stuff happens. Like, I feel like it's like two sides of the coin. It's like, I understand people are trying to make money because you need money to survive. But
yes, sir.
At the same time, it's like, why would you put this out, man? Like,
because someone's already invested in it. Like, you gotta try to get some return.
This is how I would think.
Okay.
And by any means, I am not saying that I am the guru of movie directing and writing. But
is that the guru?
I think that's the guru we have on this podcast live exclusively.
But I think that I have so much experience watching movies, just like everyone else on this podcast, that I understand what not to do. So what?
I just feel like this is like us reviewing that song with Black Eyed Peas and Shakira.
Oh, fuck, man!
It's like who authorized this? Somebody go iron this person's hands. Like,
what's sad to me about I don't want to derail you. The Shakira song is it's not just one person. Multiple people have to say, "Yeah, you got it. Keep it moving," and then they put it on the airwaves. Go ahead. It's same with the movie. I'm assuming like multiple people have to go.
It's a team.
Yes, it's yeah. Everyone said yes.
Yeah.
Or if they voted, a majority said yes. Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Especially the producers, the one who's slinging the money.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. This sounds good to waste my money on. Let's go for it.
Yep. I think I can make a return on this.
But like I was saying, I think I've seen enough movies to know not what to do. Mm-hmm. So if
what not to
do. What not to do.
What not to do.
You hit me with
I am given a script. Let's say I didn't come up with the script. Let's say I'm given a script and someone says, this is a heist movie. My brain automatically says Ocean's 11.
Yes.
I cannot greenlit this unless this junk is on par or better.
Yeah. If it's as entertaining as it. It's not like it doesn't have to do the same thing. It just has to be as entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that you're gonna. I mean, I guess you could get on par, but I think it's gonna be a lot easier to get close, not necessarily on par.
Well, when I say on par, I don't mean like this is a close adaptation. I think that's what it's called of Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
I mean like the quality is as good as Ocean's 11. It might be its own unique style of a heist movie, but the quality is on the same level.
I guess what you're trying to say is like when people think of heist movies, you don't want it to just be Ocean's 11. You want it to be Ocean's 11
like
and this
and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
even if my junk is all comedy, it's a pure comedy heist movie. It's the quality is so good.
Yeah.
That
you think of it when you think heist movie.
Yeah, you won't be like, this is trash.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand how certain movies like this come out. But again, it could be for the whole purpose of money.
Yeah, the people need jobs, bro. So, and it's like you said, did it seem low budget? I'm assuming.
I feel like I'm a movie snob, man. Because
why? We're here to review. Like everyone has opinions.
So this is what I mean when I say I feel like I'm a movie snob. This is literally what happens 100% of the time, every time. So I get into a habit of like when I'm eating food, I like to watch a movie.
Yeah.
So like if I order food, I like to find a movie that I want to watch, preferably something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
So that I can eat and watch the movie at the same time.
Correct.
I would sit there for like 30 minutes looking through movies. And if I see a movie where it doesn't look like an A, like
the posters got to bring
like
in
Hollywood Prime quality, like the camera has to be like red camera quality.
Oh, I don't know, Randall. Now you're asking for too much.
If it looks anything like B,
I'm
immediately like, nah, I'm not watching this. But I've tried to like give movies a chance because I see sometimes you guys watch movies where it's like, I would never in my right mind have ever thought about watching this movie just based off
Velocipaster.
Yeah. So
that movie was so fucking dumb gold, man.
Misfits and the Tyrese movie,
Rogue Hostage.
Those like do not. When I play the trailer, that's the first thing my brain is looking for.
Yeah.
When I hit play, does this look like it came out of Hollywood or does it look like somebody's final project?
Okay.
And when I saw it, I was like, it's kind of gray. So I watched it, but nah, man.
That's kind of how I felt with what's it called? Jupiter's Legacy or whatever.
Oh, the superhero one, right?
Yeah, like the thing is that the trailers looked great.
Yeah.
And then you watch the first like episode and the fight is like, bro, I'm pretty sure we could do a better job than whatever the fuck it was that I just watched.
Oh man.
You know, when you can see them where they're like, I must go. And then they just kind of float off screen. You're like, this is a Netflix movie.
And like, it's not done on purpose? Like, is that purposely trying to be campy in any way? Like, it's...
No, like, the movie was like the show was like a serious show. It wasn't like a, we're trying to be funny, haha, superheroes, they suck, whatever. No, this was like... The whole premise of the show was fucking serious, and then they got shit like that. You're just, I'm on board with Randall. Like, shit like that just bothers me. It's one thing if it's like, oh, we're making something, we have this cool idea, we just don't have the budget or the money or the resources or know-how or whatever to do this. And we threw it together, and then maybe it gets picked up somewhere else, and then they make an actual adaptation that has real actors doing real shit. But when you have something that's like, you're throwing millions of dollars at this, brah, there's a bar, okay?
Yeah.
that was going to be my exact next point. You are throwing so much guap at this junk, man. Like, come on, man. This is a lot of money. This is like $100, maybe $1,500. We talking about millions of dollars, man. If someone gave me millions of dollars to make a movie, oh my god,
he wouldn't be able to sleep. The stress will probably drive you crazy, and anxiety.
I wouldn't be stressed. I would just be like, I would make sure everything is consistent.
Well, that's where the time thing comes in. The stress and anxiety comes when they're like, here's the millions of dollars, have something by said date.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I'm taking your route. Remember we had this conversation? I said that if you were a director and you would hire an assistant just so that person can show people a sheet of paper that says, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
I have complete creative control.
Randall, I don't know if you've known because you might be new here, but I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control.
So what I'm saying is I would apply that same rule. Like, You asked me. You came to me. You asked me to do this movie.
Then we're doing it my
So
way.
there's a sheet of paper that says I have complete creative control. So don't ask me when it's going to be done.
When it's ready, that's when I'm going to give this to you.
I feel like the what he's looking for is like the American in the Japanese world. Yeah, I told you guys about this, right? Where there's like, so they have a position in Japan called the American, right? Because it's about, like in Asian cultures, if the company is like, we're going to do this, and every single one of the workers is like, bro, this is a terrible idea, we should not do this, they don't say anything. They're not supposed to. Like, it's considered, bad, whatever, to say, like, just talk up to your boss and be like, that's dumb, if that you don't agree. So they have what's called the American that they keep on staff. It's literally a person, usually an American person, that they hold on staff so that when somebody is doing something really stupid, the company, the employees go to this person and go, hey, this is going to bankrupt us. This is really stupid. None of us like this. Can you please say it? And then the American basically, front kicks the door, like Sparta kicks the door open and is like, yo, this is dumb. Nobody likes it. We're not fucking doing this. Like, that is literally their job. That is the job title.
That's forward thinking right there. That's what I need.
When I was in high school, my friends and I had a conversation similar to what Kelsey said. I can't remember what the name of the group was, but we wanted to be like a what would you call it? Like liaison? No, not liaison. What is it called?
Like a surrogate?
No. What is it called when people hire you just to give them advice?
Consultant?
A consultant. Yeah, just to give them advice. It's just a consultant.
Yeah, a consultant. Okay. So it was kind of like we're consultants. So basically we was like, there should be a group that every movie that comes through, at the end, that group needs to go through that movie with a fine-tooth comb and point out every stupid idea, or I don't want to use the word stupid, but this unintelligent.
Or just one that doesn't fit.
Or breaking continuity.
Yeah.
Or stuff that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Or like any of those things. Stuff that
problems.
Yeah, problems. Mm-hmm. It should be a group. That should be like your, I don't even want to say the last step. That should be like when you have a concrete story.
Yeah, once you have it in writing, like once you have the plot points, the dialogue, I don't know, something like.
And before you like go too far with production, you need to have these guys look at it and be like, okay, this is broken, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. I feel like that needs to be a real group that exists in Hollywood.
I'm sure there's a group, but like,
you know how they have those the game makers where you can like prototype stuff like super quick.
Yeah.
They should just prototype what the script does and show it to a small audience and be like, what do you think? And they go, that was fucking terrible. And you go, okay, what did you like about it? Did you watch it? Like, what were you thinking? No.
And then they'll applaud them. It's like, okay, thanks for saving us $20 million.
Yeah, man. They kind of do have something like that in Hollywood or in movies. It's called like
it's focus groups.
Pre-screeners or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They have that for almost all the entertainment industry.
The thing about it is just like it's irrelevant because to my knowledge they don't really go back and drastically change it. Like if the focus group says this movie sucked, they're not going to go back and reshoot the movie.
They just try to fine tune what they didn't like and make it less.
Like a Band-Aid go.
Yeah, it's right? Band-Aid solutions. It's time because a lot of these big studios like is the MGM or like Paramount or whatever, like they don't like give them that much creative freedom. That's why there's a lot of indie films that are doing great because it's independent. Like they either out of their pocket or they get funding from whatever and they can do what they want. Those big ones, like I'm assuming the people at Disney and Marvel, they have a schedule. They got to get through it. Mm-hmm. They know exactly. That's why it's been working so far because they have a blueprint. This is gonna do this. This is gonna do this. This is gonna do this, and execute. Period.
Yeah.
Whether or not it like. And that's why we keep talking about the DC versus Marvel. Marvel has their blueprint. Be funny in a bit and get attractive people on screen. You know what I'm saying? And make people care about these guys. Keep it moving. DC's like, we don't have that blueprint yet. They don't have that workflow yet.
Which is weird to me because their animated movies are superb.
We'll get to that. 'Cause I think did he see it? Let me double check.
Under the hood.
He did
Talking
not.
about Luca?
Oh no, The Long Halloween. There's a new Batman animated movie that came out. Then Randall saw it and he said it's fucking banger.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, okay. Is that the one? I think somebody posted a clip, or not a clip, but a thing about it where Bruce is like talking about Halloween, and then Alfred's like, "Yes, dressing up in a costume and going out to scare people," or something like that is just terrible.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but he said it was dope. But I wanted to see if you had watched it.
No, I haven't. I didn't know that it came. A new one came out. I'll have to go see if I can find it.
So Misfits. It sounds like it's a hard pass.
Yeah, it's a hard pass.
All right.
Wait. Do we need to? What did it get on? Got a 4.1. Okay, here we go.
Give it a check, homie.
Misfits. Rotten Tomatoes. Oof. All right. Guesses. Audience first, then professional, then audience.
10% professional, 36% audience.
Okay. I'm gonna professional. What is this? What were we talking about? Misfits. Ooh, let me go with 5%, Howie. And then for users, there's a lot of likable people on here, right? I'm gonna go 20%. You know what I'm saying?
Randall, you got a guess?
I go with 35 professional.
Yeah, that's
Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, he's getting
41 because people are like, I've seen people like weird stuff, man.
That's true.
Like I've seen people like stuff that was clearly trash. I've seen people write in the comments, "This was amazing," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, there's some Mortal Kombat movie. We had one in our podcast.
So yeah, 35 and maybe 41 audience.
All right, so the professional was 19.
Oh, damn it!
And the audience score was 63.
What?
Wow, I cannot understand how it got that high.
So this sounds like, well, I mean, this is about a 40%, just like the other one was for what was it, Rogue Hostage?
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds like these are candidates for our Tuesday, what the fuck reviews.
Mm-hmm. Shit, dude.
If y'all watch any of those movies, no.
You already watched it, so I mean, I understand if you don't want to rewatch it. Especially if you're saying hard pass on all of them.
It would be painful for me to watch through it again. Like, that's how bad at least to me, that's how bad.
Maybe you miss all the gems.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like some of these movies, they're better when you watch it with a group because you can sit there and laugh at shit.
It's because you're roasting it the entire time,
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, though. You guys could like roast movies and stuff. I am literally in anger when I'm sitting here watching this stuff. Like, it makes me angry.
That's fair. Especially if you're watching it like by yourself, you're sitting there going, "I dedicated this amount of time to this."
It's not even that,
and it's trash.
I'm okay with like, I wouldn't call it wasting time because I usually try to find something. There's usually something that I learn
watching it.
Like it could be anything. If it's something that I don't enjoy doing, it's always something I could take away from it. It's just that it was just that bad. Like, okay, I don't want to draw this out because I said I wasn't going to really do a review because it's not good. But the Rogue Nation movie, yeah, Tyrese's character is he Navy SEALs? I don't think he's Navy SEALs. I just know he was in the military.
Okay.
No, he's the other one. What is the other one called? Not Navy SEALs.
What branch?
Green Beret?
No. Marine. He's a Marine.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. The whole movie, this dude did not want to use a gun.
Did he explain why?
I mean, you find out in the movie what happened, but it was one of those situations where, like, okay, this is the part that made me really get angry. He was in a situation where it was like he picked up a gun off the ground. He had the gun in his hand, and the main antagonist was about to kill this little boy, and he was sitting there debating whether or not he wanted to use the gun to save the boy's life.
What the hell?
I'm like, are you serious? Like I could understand PTSD. I understand that. I mean, I don't understand it, but I know it's not something easy to deal with.
Yeah.
It messes people up.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about survival skills or
saving someone
protecting, a kid, a child, you got to think about that.
Maybe the kid's an asshole.
No, the kid was adorable, man. He's the sweetest. He saved 2 people's lives.
The little kid?
The little kid.
Oh, there you go.
Should have saved it up.
Okay.
He like it was a part where in the movie where like the kid they had like disarm one of the bad guys, and while the other people, so instead of disarming the bad guy and picking up the gun and using it, the person just disarmed the guy and then tried to like run away or whatever.
Yeah.
So the little kid who was intelligent was like, no, I'm gonna pick this gun up because when the bad guy was about to attack, he shot him.
Yeah.
The kid.
Oh, the kid did. Okay. Shoot.
Attaboy.
That's Brian. Hey, that's Brian's kid. Well, so Misfits.
No.
That's a hard no. Got it.
It's on the back of the box.
Yeah. Just no. Brian,
What?
I got a question for you.
Large.
What the hell is A Soul by Dale?
Teo, yeah.
No. Dale?
Oh.
There's a question mark in there, so you got to make sure you say. You like that?
Dale? Oh.
I don't have that. I need you to tell me. Yeah, no.
Oh.
I just need you to tell me about Dale.
For you like that.
Oh, no. I was just aligning it.
Quick sideline before I get into this album.
Got
Look
it.
at your shirt, all right?
My shirt?
Now what's on it?
Mega Man. From Mega Man X. Hold on. Oh, you got Mega Man from Mega Man X. Oh, shit. It's like we're related.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah?
No.
No. For the purpose of the show, we're not.
You resemble each other a lot.
Yeah, but he's
Use the same hair products?
No, because he has hair. I don't.
I mean, you do have hair on your head.
Ugh. So Dale.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see if we kept it going. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this person, Teo.
Brian, why don't you tell us about Teo?
Teo. I'll give it to you straight, Jack.
Okay.
Is this music?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard of him years ago, back when I was SoundCloud heavy. He had a song I think called "Selfishness," and I was like, it was loopable music. It
Okay.
just slapped. It sounded like a J Dilla beat. He can sing well. So I loop him, right?
Before you continue, does he produces his own instrumentals or no? Okay, go ahead.
He's a part owner, I think, of the Misfits label, which is Jaden's. It's him. They're close friends, so they kind of started it together.
Okay.
They had a song together, a single called Uno Dos, and it's him, bossa nova trap music.
Oh, okay.
And Jaden's in it, and like again, he's slapping.
Slap. Okay.
And then I heard a couple more songs. And
is this like singles building up to this project, or is it just random stuff before?
Just random songs from before, but I heard one single before I realized the album was out.
Oh, okay.
I heard the single and then, it's out this week.
Got it.
And from the single alone, I was like, yeah, it's beyond fucks. And it's Willow Smith's in it.
Okay.
She does a good job. And then the whole album was out. So I was like, naturally.
I got to continue it. Okay.
So I'm pulling up I just wrote 2 instead of Teo.
2?
It's this album. It's 12 songs, a little over half an hour, like 33 minutes or so.
Okay.
No skits. Like it's just songs.
Just tracks. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. Out of the 12 songs, I only didn't heart 3 of them.
And why didn't you? Missing that oomph.
Annoying the chorus. It's a repeating chorus.
Okay.
So
yeah.
That's why I didn't like it. There's ways to do repeating choruses. There's sometimes I allow it.
Yeah.
But this one was just the same word, the exact same inflection and cadence of it. And I'm like, okay.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang,
yeah,
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate that song.
And that's how you do it badly. Yeah. Like that's a bad repeating chorus.
This one he's doing like some kind of Latin fusion, jazz bossa nova, but like, this slaps. He sounds good on it. and the chorus is bandera, and then just the salsa song, and then it goes bandera, and it just says that like 5 times per chorus. I'm like, everything else is good. I don't want to hear that over and over.
Yeah.
I think every song, the only ones that I didn't heart was because the chorus was lacking. Everything else was enjoyable.
Okay.
Game of the year.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be a
No,
talk for the end of
Not
the year.
game of the year, but it could be.
Well, I mean, when we say
it's-
game of the year, it's like talk
yeah.
of top 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt like he experimented more. So, like I said, the song with Jaden that he did,
Yeah.
it was bossa nova-ish, kind of jazzy R&B, and then halfway through, trap drums, and he's doing like rapper cadence. Like
Oh.
he does good either way. This he experiments more. Some of it's just like reggaeton sounding music. He
Okay.
has a song on here called Assim,
Mm-hmm.
and he's with this female singer who's singing in Portuguese. He's not, but she is, and it's like still bossa nova, kind of like it's like bossa nova, jazz, Latin fusion mixed with like hip hop and R&B of today. That's
Okay.
kind of his sound summed up. And he just plays around different genres of that. He still has the same songs minus the one with the Willow Smith.
Yeah.
It's like fucked beyond belief.
Mm-hmm.
He has songs of similar genre, and then he sprinkled in the different ones.
Ah, I
Like he
see.
has some trap songs where he's talking that shit, and I'm like the song The Most, I think you'll like, Anthony.
The most?
Yeah.
It's called the most, or am I gonna like it the
Yeah,
most?
that's what he's called.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Because he's saying he's doing the most. Cause
Oh,
and
let's go.
flexes on him.
Yeah, that's what we out here, man. We always doing the most out here. You know what I'm saying?
I enjoyed the album overall. I enjoy him as a singer. Him as a rapper too, apparently.
Oh, good for him.
I
What-
hope it does well. I don't know if he's that popular. The song with the most plays, which is the one with Willow. That
Probably Willow.
yeah,
If you're saying it slaps
actually, it's the
beyond
second-
belief,
That's the second one. Apparently, second most played. But that one's beyond belief. That song fucks.
okay. Now I'm hyped to listen to this. I have 2
Yeah,
albums to
there's
listen to
only
this
two
week.
songs. There's only 3 songs. Okay, one of the ones I didn't like because of the chorus has the most plays, with almost 4 million. But the
Oh,
other
shit.
2 that I liked don't pass 2 million. Everything else is like 100,000s or just tens of thousands.
Gotcha.
So it seems like it's not getting that much play. Maybe people don't know about
He's
him
an,
that
I think
much,
he's an
but
up and comer, I guess.
I hope he blows up. Not like him exploding. I mean, like his music doesn't.
Hey, I was gonna say you need to relax, Brian. You just said you like
Yeah.
his music. You can't just like wish that on him, you know. Shoot.
It's definitely worth listening to. Like Latin music, you like jazz, you like bossa nova, or like fusion kind of stuff. You like Spanish trap. There's a bit of it.
I like what slaps, Brian. Right? And if this
Then
slaps,
listen to
I'm
Bu-
there.
Then listen to the song "Buzzed." That's the one with Willow Smith.
Yeah.
I get a whole work shift, 8 hours. I looped only that song.
Because right now I have a Drake hype playlist that I play when I'm working out.
I was
Oh,
gonna
it depends on the mood.
ask
So-
you guys, do y'all have one song that
That I can loop.
I'm talking about that junk gets you so hyped you could go outside and punch somebody in the face?
I have multiple songs like that.
Wait, yeah, I have a whole playlist.
I have a lot of songs.
No, but okay, but I'm saying one song. Is there like one song above all that's like, yo, if I play this junk, man, everybody's a victim.
Any Chief Keef song. I can't narrow it down to one when Chief Keef exists.
Oh shit! Damn, one song. There, I need time to gather my
could do-
songs.
I could do-
I can't do it off the top of my head.
It makes you violent, but it just gets you so hyped that you
You can do
you
for the year if we're gonna do one song this year.
Oh, I guess that's true. 1 year.
man.
Go ahead. You hit him with your answer, bro.
The year, obviously, do Rag Activity.
Oh, do rag activity. Yeah, that's I can see
As
that.
soon as when I'm shuffling my 2021 songs and I hear boom, boom, I'm already Glock out.
Oh, I don't even know. For me, for a long time, it was Money in the Grave. And if not Galchester, Drake. Holy yeah. That yep. I'm like, who we fighting, my guy? Who is it that we're gonna throw hands with? There's for me a lot of it like for workouts Drake hype. For some reason he knows how to make this. He says this right shit where I'm like, you right. I'm the shit. Like he has like very.
I can
What
give
is
you
it?
like a top 3. He has like what, just energy inducing.
Yeah, like he's like, yo, he makes me believe I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we're out here. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
I could do like maybe like a top 5, but That
Just
shit's that's
one?
rough.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that I can put on loop and I'm in it. Whoever walks into my garage on accident is gonna catch these fucking hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's songs that I would leave my garage open for someone to walk in. Just
Yeah, to invite him in
this kid.
as a
Yeah,
trap.
you know that scene in Dave Chappelle and when Keeping It Real goes wrong,
Yeah.
and that one guy who just instigates fights knowing he's a black belt.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I don't like people playing on my phone. No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one. That guy. That's what some of these songs make you turn into.
There's some songs by the game that makes me violent. That I can see can make me violent.
Him and Bobby Shmurda.
Nah, Bobby Shmurda makes me laugh. Like I don't know why.
No, the
But...
song with them.
Oh, okay. Okay,
The name of it.
he's playing in his head. But we gotta keep moving. Dale?
Yeah. It's a question. It's a question I get to answer once you listen to this album. I highly recommend it.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I'm gonna listen to that. I forgot to listen to Tyler's the Creator's
Same.
album. So I need to listen to that this week, and I'll listen to this too.
I was gonna listen to that this week as well.
Lit. Okay, Randall. I'm gonna go to you real quick. Kelsey, after this, we'll get to you with the Batman stuff. Randall's been playing a lot of Tekken. A lot of it. And he put down on here that he's been getting used to Seimetsu, whatever that is.
Oh, I said converting to Seimetsu.
Converting to Seimetsu. So
I
I
haven't
need you.
gotten it yet, but
Tell us what's
ordered
happening.
it. It's a stick.
Gotcha.
So there's 3 different types of major sticks. There's Sanwa, Hayabusa, and Seimetsu.
Mm-hmm.
The stick that you and Brian got me, that's Hayabusa.
Okay.
Seimetsu is the reason why I want to try it is because their stick, the way the switches are, is different than both Sanwa and Hayabusa because they have. So you know how like when you hit the stick, it like so there's like 4 different switches.
Yeah.
There's 4, right? Yeah, there's 4 different switches, and then the lever hits the switch, which makes the control move or whatever,
Yes.
right? Well, Seimetsu has these metal. I don't know what you would call them, but they're like metal, like
Levers, apparently.
yeah, it's like a lever or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So these levers are always touching the stick.
Uh-huh.
So as soon as you move it, is immediately going in a direction, a specific direction, whatever direction you choose.
Uh-huh.
Rather than the space in between the stick and the switch,
Yeah.
which is how Sanwa and Hayabusa works. These had like it's always touching it. So I'm just wondering,
So the throw is smaller.
there's almost no throw.
Yeah, because it's like a mechanical keyboard, where as soon as some pressure is applied, it's there.
Exactly. And also, I want to try because I think they have 2 different types of springs. Because the issue that I'm running into right now with the Hayabusa is that their spring is really light. So I'm having that issue. Remember when I was telling you, like if I try to go to neutral, if I'm going from down to try to go to neutral, it would spring up and then to neutral.
Uh-huh.
So it's like times when I'm trying to do wild rising moves. And I'm trying to hit the wild rising move, and it go up, and so then my character jumps.
Just hops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I have a harder spring, it'll return to neutral, and it'll be stiffer. Only the downside of that though is that it might make fatigue an issue because the stick is stiffer. So then I would have to build up the muscle to deal with that for a long period of time. But I'm excited to get it when it finally gets here. Aside from that, I think that I'm gonna stay with Hayabusa switches. I mean not switches, buttons. Because their button seems to be based on research, they seem to be the quickest, had the quickest response. Eventually I want to build my own stick. Like from the ground up. Because
Well, I mean, you are used to playing with your own stick.
Those are facts. I'm gonna hit you with it.
Facts.
Those are facts.
yeah, so
Okay.
that's that.
So how are you enjoying modding your arcade stick? You've been liking it? It's been fun? Or breaking it open?
Well, the only thing I did was, so I changed it was a square gate, and I changed it from a square gate to an 8 gate. But then I changed it back to a square gate because I changed from a ball top to a bat top. And the bat top is way better for me because my hands are bigger, and it helps with Korean backdashing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I use the ball and I'm trying to Korean backdash, my hand will slide over the stick because the stick is shorter.
Yeah.
But because the bat top stands higher,
Yeah, it does.
It'll
Keep going. I'm not saying anything. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You got it.
My hand it stays flush with my hand, so
Okay.
it's better control because the stick sits higher.
You know what else helps with Korean backdashes?
Probably the hitbox.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give that hitbox a try, man.
I mean, I am eventually going to get a hitbox, but the specific one that I want is always
Out of stock.
yeah. And it was in stock for like 5 minutes one time, and I was going through all my options, and by the time I got to it was like out of stock.
Yeah, because someone already has that shit like made, bro. Ready to go.
And it's not like one of those situations where like you could just go onto the page, hit add to cart, buy. You have to go through all the options first.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you're building your
Bear.
Yeah.
yeah, you're building your bear. So by the time I went through all that, which sucks because it's kind of like the same dilemma that Bryant went through when he was getting a PS5. It's like if they see that I'm in the process of like
Checking out. Like,
like this dude isn't hitting buttons and making options for no reason. Like he's going to buy it. So
Yeah.
why don't we just put this one in the queue for him?
Well, I mean, if you directly relate it to real life, it's like if you go to Best Buy and someone's like, and you're like, I want to grab this, and the guy starts walking that like your options with you, like, oh, you can do this stick and this, and somebody just shoves your face over and like, I just want that, and then just grabs it and runs.
Yeah.
It's like, fam, I was in line. Like,
It's more so you're in line,
yeah.
about to like bag your stuff, and someone reaches into your. I
You
muted
muted-
myself.
Yeah, makes sense.
He got so excited, he's like, I can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
No, I'm so dumbfounded that no one knows how to make an online fucking cart that makes sense.
Because they don't care as long as they get paid. They don't care how inconveniences you.
Shit,
Okay.
yeah.
Clearly because they haven't hired Skullgirl's networking team.
That's true.
Which is on sale right now. I think it's $5 base game, and then the season pass is $25 right now until July. So
It's a good deal. $30 for all the content. Come on.
I still
You
can't
stupid
believe
nigga.
after all this time, it's still to get consoles, and it's still difficult to get consoles and graphics cards.
Yep.
it's not hard to get Skullgirls though. It's on
Yep.
sale.
$30, Randall.
I mean, anything digital is easy to get.
Yeah. All
But
right.
it's hard to put down, especially Skullgirls.
All right. That works too. Okay, that's cool. I think we're gonna save Luca for next week because I wanted to watch that movie. So maybe we can also. You said Nick watched Luca as well.
Pretty sure.
All right.
Is that the animated movie?
Yeah, it's a new Disney movie.
Is it long?
I don't
No.
know.
It's only shit.
It's shit.
Shit.
Like an hour and
Hour and 30 or something.
yeah, hour and 35.
Okay. Damn. We'll probably skip that for next week then. But you have something to talk about this week, Kelsey.
No, I really talk about this week.
You
I
sure?
haven't watched anything.
It's the bat.
It's the bat.
It's the
bat.
bat. And I just have a gun-shaped logo on my chest.
Rocksteady needs to make another game, man.
They are making a game. It's just they haven't came out to see what it is yet.
No, I'm talking about another Batman game.
I don't think they're doing another one, man. Wait,
Not with that attitude.
is Rocksteady making the Suicide Squad one?
I don't think so.
But I thought it was them.
I thought it was that. Hold
Wait,
on.
well, maybe they are. I didn't think they were.
Let me double check before I misspeak.
Who's doing the
Steady
Gotham Knights?
game. That's a different studio. The people who did Origins, Batman Origins, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't it like Shovel Rock or Turtle Rock or something?
Turtle Rock, I think is. Well, I don't know for sure. We might be just seeing the wrong shit.
Glass
You know what?
Productions.
You know who
Yes.
could make a really good Batman game? Team Ninja.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, Rocksteady's making that Suicide Squad game.
Oh, okay.
The one we haven't gotten any gameplay for.
Yeah, the one that we just got that cool, fun trailer for, but no gameplay yet.
I'm kind of sold because it says Superman's a villain.
That's true. So
And Harley Quinn has a gun. So does Deadshot. So I could shoot at Superman is what you're telling me.
yeah.
Kryptonite bullets.
Speaking of
I mean,
shooting
even if you
people,
shoot him with one of those, he still survives.
so Kelsey, hit me with what you want to like. I don't know how you want to tackle this list, but
I'll probably just go in order because I have it written down in order, and I combine things that were together.
yeah,
Like, yeah, Batman Under the Red Hood and Death of the Family are kind of they're the same thing for the most part. Death in the Family has some other stuff, but I'll talk about it. So Batman Under the Red Hood was out 11 years ago now. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. It's an awesome.
Yes.
Everything about it is amazing. Like the storyline, the animations, the fight scenes, just it's perfect. You know, just awesome.
right there with you.
You know, it's got a really interesting story. Robin he's like, so the new Robin is like, his name is Jason something or
Todd.
other.
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, is that the other one? Couldn't remember. But yeah, so Robin is Jason. His name is Jason Todd, and Bruce basically adopts him. And this story kind of follows the Killing Joke.
Yes.
Which I'll talk about here in a little bit.
This junk always bothers me, man.
What does?
The story that you're about to talk about.
Yeah, I mean it's
with Jason Todd.
yeah, like it's pretty dark. Like that's one of the things I really like about the Batman series is that they have a lot of very dark everything. You know, it's great for dancing in the dark. It's great for dark storytelling. It's he really likes the dark. But it follows, like I said, it follows the Killing Joke. It follows Jason Todd being kidnapped by the Joker, and then the Joker beats him almost to death. And as he's leaving, he traps him inside the warehouse that they're in, and then a bomb goes off, and Bruce shows up too late, and then his body gets taken by Ra's al Ghul and dipped in the
Lazarus Pit,
and then he comes back just like mad. He's like psychotic and has grudges against the world, and then starts going on a killing spree.
Yep.
Death in the Family. So there's a couple things about Death in the Family. So Death in the Family, the newer versions, like if you buy the newer versions, you only get the 30-minute recap of Under the Red Hood. Okay? So it's literally just Bruce talking to Clark about what happened, gives you a little bit of more information about why they were in Bosnia, and then basically, it's literally a 30-minute breakdown of Under the Red Hood and goes over all the important parts. So if you really just don't want to watch Under the Red Hood, watch Death in the Family, and you'll get everything you need to know.
I just found something out by going on IMDb. You guys remember the show Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys remember the white best friend he had?
Yes.
No, I do
He
not.
voiced Jason Todd.
Oh, wow.
Well, you're talking about Jensen Ackles? Because then,
He just bounced.
yeah, I see that. Because Jensen Ackles, the guy from Supernatural, voices him.
Not according to this, apparently. In Death in the Family, it's Vincent Martella.
So okay, it's probably so. There's a couple of different. So Under the Red Hood is voiced by Jensen Ackles, and there's a couple of different versions. So this is what I was going to talk about. So the original Death in the Family is you have multiple endings, and you actually get to decide how the story plays out. And there's a whole bunch of different stuff. There's like 7 or 8 different endings that you can run through. One is the main one is Todd dies, gets pulled out by Ra's al Ghul, and comes back, and you have Under the Red Hood. There's one where There's a couple where Bruce dies, and uh, Talia brings him back to life. Hang on, let me look at my list here. Sec. So, so the Red Hood ending was Batman was the one who died in Bosnia, gets resurrected by Talia, and then fights Jason and loses on top of the rooftop. And he's like, so when he comes back, he can't really say anything. So he says like, what was it? He only says like 3 words, and they don't really make any sense. And I later found out what they actually were about, but I don't honestly remember it at the moment. But Jason and Bruce fight. Bruce dies again, and then Bruce blows himself up with Jason and Talia on the roof. All right, so all 3 of them are that's it. They're gone. Okay. There's another one where Jason and Bruce fight, but Jason just knocks him out rather than killing him. Talia tries to kill Jason, but dies due to an explosion somewhere else. I don't remember what happened. And then Barbara returns to help Dick be Batman, the Nightwing, become the new Batman. They all try and help, Batman recover. He's like sitting in the Batcave in like a straitjacket, just saying the words over and over again.
Yeah.
Because he's lost his mind. He doesn't seem to recover. Another one is that most of these come down to Jason surviving and then Batman dying, and then like a couple that where he's like skirts death or he dies and then under the Red Hood is what comes out. So another one was Batman died in Bosnia, and Joker got his claws into the mind of Jason, and kind of warps his sense of reality. And then Jason becomes the Red Hood and just goes around killing everybody, just like you see in Under the Red Hood.
Yep.
And then when he confronts the Joker's like, "What are you talking about?" Because he's like, "I'm not like you. I wouldn't do the things that you would do." And the Joker's like, "You don't remember any of this, do you? Like you've been slaughtering people." And he's like, "What? No, like there's no way," you know? And then like he gets this whole big speech, and then Jason just, puts a bullet in the Joker's head.
Yeah.
Another one where he's same basic principle, but he spares the Joker, and then tries to like talk to Barbara about everything, and Barbara like resents him because the Joker paralyzed her.
Yeah.
In the previous, or in the Killing Joke.
Yep.
And she's just like really upset with everything that he's done and the fact that he didn't kill the Joker. Like, why would you kill all these other people but not him? And tries to get him to turn himself in. The next one is he becomes Red Robin. So Jason escapes being arrested after. So this one, he's in. I didn't quite understand the setup. I couldn't find all of the videos of like on like YouTube or whatever that kind of explain the background of how they get to some of these places. But there's one where he like walks into a cafe, and there's a guy sitting there, and they're talking, and there's something about Batman being missing on the screen, and they're just having a chat, and the guy says something that triggers memories in Jason, and Jason realizes that it's the Joker without the classic, white
Pink.
face and red and whatever. And he says something that triggers the Joker to realize that that's
Jason.
Robin.
Oh, right.
Or yeah. And so he kills Joker, and he smears the paint. He's got the big smile on he like stabs him in the eye, smears the paint on his face, and you can see the white and the red underneath, and police show up and arrest Jason. Well, Jason adapts the jailbird persona and just starts beating the ever-living fuck out of everybody that's in jail.
Yeah.
And like they show him like going to jail, and then it cuts to him with like tats and cuts and bruises and scars and things all over him, and he's got a big smile on his face. The other half of that is that he doesn't turn himself in. He escapes the cops after killing the Joker, and then starts fighting with Two-Face at the mall. And Two-Face either lets him live or, flips the coin, lets him live, or kills him. And he gets the kill, but then decides that it's not worth it because he's like, after everything that you've done, after everything you've become, living with the guilt of knowing that you've done all this is going to be far worse than anything I can do for you. And, he gets upset and then goes back to working with the Bat family, like Barbara and Dick Grayson and somebody else. I forget who it was. Oh, Tim Drake. So Tim Drake comes in that one. And then the last one, so he cheats death. Bruce saves him, but he gets badly burned in a similar fashion as to what Two-Face gets hit. Where he part of his face goes, and so he adopts this persona of Red Robin, starts bandaging his face all the time, and then just basically goes on a killing spree, just trying to clean up Gotham, doing his thing like he does with Red Hood, under the Red Hood. Talia eventually finds him and offers to help him kill the Joker, but in return he has to raise Damian, which is Bruce and Talia's son.
Yeah.
And then he agrees, but under the notion that, secretly he's going to train Damian to hate both of his parents and eventually take revenge on them.
Okay.
So that one was interesting. I didn't realize that there was a whole bunch of other different endings. I watched the Death in the Family and I was like, what is the point in this? The only thing you get extra from Under the Red Hood is the 5 minutes of explanation in the very beginning of why they were in Bosnia.
Yeah.
And then everything else was literally just clips of the Red Hood and Bruce going, I fucked up. This is what happened. Thanks for listening to me, Clark. Catch you later. And that's it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
If you really want a condensed version of Under the Red Hood, just watch that because it literally has everything you need to know with none of the filler stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But on the newer ones, they also have some other animated shorts. It was called the I sent it to Randall a while ago. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But it's the DC Showcase, and it's just a whole bunch of animated shorts.
Oh, okay.
The first one is called Sergeant Rock. It's a very strange short. It's about World War II, where the sergeant loses his squad, but isn't given a command of a special squad that consists of a vampire, a werewolf, and Frankenstein's monster. And they have to track down the scientists that are working for Hitler and steal the scientists and their research. Well, it turns out the scientists are working on bringing, basically. It turns out the scientists are working on bringing, soldiers back to life as undead monsters, similar to Frankenstein. And when they show up, it's the sergeant's entire squad.
Oh.
And it was weird.
Yeah, that sounds very weird.
There's another one called Adam Strange, and I think he's part of I think Adam Strange is its own comic.
Yeah.
I think because the way that it played out, it made it seem like it. But he's some warrior on a distant planet, and his planet is being attacked by Thanagarians, and his wife dies. And then there's this strange beam of light that just shows up and teleports him to some other planet. And he's like, no, not now. What the hell? I need to go back. I gotta save everybody. And he gets there, and he's like, don't get used to this face. I'm not going to be here long. Well, then it's 50 years later,
Oof.
And he's old as shit. And they're they're on this planet mining stuff. They unlock some burial ground with monsters, and the monster starts slaughtering everybody. He finally decides to give up the booze and pulls out his old gear and just destroys all the monsters. And then as the people are leaving the planet, they're like, don't you want to come with us? And he goes, no, the light's going to come back, and then I'm going home. And it has to come back soon. And they're like, okay, man, whatever. You've been here 50 years. If that's really you know,
Still holding on to
if
that.
you really want to stay here, yeah. And then like they leave, and then the light comes back, but then it teleports him, and you don't know where the fuck he is. And so it's
my
like,
God.
okay, you don't. It doesn't show him like going back to his home planet. It just shows the light, and he's like, finally. And you're going, bruh. I mean, it could literally teleport you anywhere. Like you don't know what the fuck's going on. The Phantom Stranger. I think this is another like comic hero. I don't really know much about him, but he's like this old dude that seems to kind of live forever and can just disappear whenever he wants. And he's got strange powers. This one though was like basically the story about Scooby and the gang picking up some random chick. Only Scooby's not there. They go to the stranger's house and they start dancing and partying, and then the stranger starts kissing everybody and drains the life out of them. Okay, and then the stranger shows up. What?
I don't know what the fuck's happening in this story already. Go.
Yeah, so the stranger like shows up and talks to the girl before the random girl before she goes into the house and like says some weird spiritual shit and you know like you know some real spiritual shit.
Uh-huh.
And she goes in and they're having fun and she's like kind of blinded by the guy's powers because that's what he does. And then the stranger shows up and starts fighting him. And then like the girl plays him, rips his necklace off that's apparently keeping him alive in this realm, and then the guy like ages 1,000 years in a second and dies. And then I don't know. The shorts were fucking weird. The only good one in it was the very last one called Death. Okay?
Okay.
It's this great short about a struggling artist trying to paint something that he's going to be remembered by. And he finally does when he meets death, like a person death, you know? And it's just this really kind of sad realization about his life, but everything about the short was just awesome. You know, like it's just very moving, emotional. You know, you can kind of relate to the character because he's got like these ghosts that are following him around, telling him he's like not good enough or he's just a failure and he never lived up to expectations and all this other stuff. And he's really just trying to do something to feel like he mattered, you know, while he was alive. And like if you're gonna watch anything out of this, watch that. Like that one was actually really cool. Like even if you just look up like a YouTube of it, because I think it's only like 15 minutes long. It was great.
Okay.
You know, the rest of them, fuck whatever. I don't know. Batman Year One. It's literally the beginning of Batman. You know,
I read this one.
Yeah, so he comes back after so many years of being gone, and he's like, I've got to clean up this city, and he's trying to figure out what he can do, and he starts off by like putting
No, sorry, not Year One. Sorry.
Do what?
I read Earth One, not Year One. Sorry.
So he like shows up and he starts going to crime. He goes to like Crime Alley or something similar, and he doesn't have any like he doesn't have a costume on. He literally just has some makeup with like a big scar so that it nobody can really recognize him. And he starts fighting a pimp, and then Selena Kyle comes out of the woodworks out of like a thing. But this is kind of a different take on who her character is. She's more of like a crime boss, you know?
Okay.
Like, I don't remember her being this, but she's basically running her own prostitution ring. And one of the girls that's part of it is like not her child, but basically her adopted child.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a younger girl. She's probably 14, 15. And that's how like Bruce's whole fight starts. It was really good. You know, like, it kind of shows Bruce becoming Batman. It shows Selena becoming Catwoman. Yeah.
Spoilers, Brian.
Right?
Bryan Cranston voiced Jim Gordon in this.
Oh,
Who?
really?
Bryan Cranston.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't remember Jim Gordon being like...
A huge part of it?
Yeah, not that one anyway.
Steve Bloom's in it as some guy named Stan.
Yeah. they had like all of these. None of them are like very consistent with the people who play, you know, the different characters,
Uh-huh.
like playing the same character. Um, was it Kevin Conroy?
Yeah,
I
he's
think
our
he
Batman.
voices Batman in a bunch of them, and then it's like a slew of other people
Yeah.
that are in it. And then they have a ton of different people that play different parts. Um, what's her name? Who was the redheaded chick from Mad Men that you really liked?
Peggy?
Christina Hendricks.
Yes, Christina Hendricks plays.
Did you just say Peggy, Brian?
What the fuck am I thinking?
That's Elizabeth Moss, first of all. Second of all, you don't even like her at all.
That's why I'm confused.
I think he's mad at himself. He's
Yeah,
like, "How the fuck did I get here?"
Go ahead,
Um,
sorry.
So she plays like, I don't remember if it's Lois. I think it's Lois Lane in one of them because there's like a Superman crossover, and then she also plays, I think, somebody else in another one. Um, but they have like really big names just playing random people in all
Okay.
of these. Batman Assault on Arkham. It's basically Suicide Squad breaks into Arkham to kill Riddler, and Batman kind of interferes. Like that's literally all it is.
That's okay.
Yeah, because like I think the Riddler was part of the Suicide Squad, but he figured out how to disable the bomb that
the girl put in the
shit.
Waller.
What's her name?
I know
Waller.
it's-
Yeah, Amanda Waller.
Waller.
Puts in the back of their neck. But yeah, I mean it's basically Suicide Squad breaks into Arkham to kill Riddler, and Batman just is kind of a bystander.
He's
You know, he shows up for certain things, but that's it.
Is that
He's
the
like-
one where Deadshot bangs Harley?
Yes.
Okay, I seen this.
You like it as well, or
I don't remember feeling any way towards it.
you just saw? And you're
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
okay.
it's
Yeah, I
It's-
was happy for Deadshot that he banged Harley, and that was
Oh,
that's about
yeah.
it.
Batman Year One was like just a cool, thing. Batman Assault on Arkham was like, if you're watching the Batman series, you might as well watch this because it's part of it. Son of Batman is like its own miniseries. It's the Son of Batman starts off with Ra's dying because of Deathstroke,
yeah.
and then Bruce finds out what.
I said yeah, but it sounded like I was dying. Yeah, I was like, yeah, and I'm like, oh shit. Go ahead.
But Bruce finds out he's got a kid, which is Damian, and then Damian spends the entire show trying to kill Deathstroke, even though Talia leaves him with Bruce to like train him more and keep him safe and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Damian just doesn't give a fuck what Bruce has to say because he was bred to be
An
this
assassin.
world leader, and that everybody has to listen to him. And so Damien's like, I don't know, maybe like between 10 and 13 or something. And every time they're like, okay, we need to go here. And he goes, I'll drive. And Bruce goes, no. And he goes, I know how. And Bruce goes, no.
Yeah.
And they use it like 3 or 4 times. And it's just like, this just gets funnier every time he does
Yeah.
it. Because Damien's like, I'll drive. No. And he's like, but I know how. No.
No.
It's just the like
It's
impact.
the grittiness. It's just no.
Yeah. The second part of it is Batman vs. Robin. It's based around the Court of Owls, where Bruce believes that Bruce remembers his parents, his dad, like telling him this like folklore story of the Court of Owls about how it's basically a secret society of very wealthy people that do all these things in the shadows and actually control the city. Like
Yep.
that they're the ones that are running it. And he's certain that they're the reason that his parents died that night. But he spends like all this time trying to prove it, and then spends all this time trying to prove it only to, fail basically, and then finds out it's actually real when they kidnap Bruce on his way to a date, and bring him to the court to try and inaugurate him. They have this, the court has this special uh, assassin. His name is Talon, and
Mhm.
he's basically an owl that goes around and just kills everything,
It's a
or kills
badass.
everybody for him. And he basically recruits Damien to be part of his squad. Only, they find out that Damien, because they know that Damien is Bruce's son. Then when he takes off his mask in the court, they realize that he's Bruce's son, which means that Bruce is Batman. And then all these people have this realization that Bruce is Batman.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of it for that one.
And a side
And
note,
then
I read the comic book series, The Court of Owls, written by Scott Snyder. If you have not read it, it is fantastic. Go buy the volumes.
yeah, I haven't. That was a first for me. I didn't know anything about that one, so I might have to look this one
The
up.
comic series, it's like the first 2 or 3 volumes. It's Scott Snyder's it's just great work.
So Bad Blood is the next one. Talia is trying to take over the world, and I'm trying to think of how to explain this one. So Talia is trying to take over the world. There's this new villain that is just slaughtering everybody,
Okay.
and you later find out that it's a not a future version, but basically a grown-up version of Damien, and he's a clone, but has most of his memories except for being a child.
What the hell?
And
That's weird.
yeah, and they kidnap Bruce, and one of the characters is great with digging into the brain of people and reprogramming it and that kind of stuff. And so they brainwash Bruce, and then there's this summit with all the world leaders, and he unveils this new technology that then they tap into to take control of all the leaders and basically take over the world.
Okay.
Alfred shows what a boss ass monster he is in this movie.
Let's go.
Because he comes in and he's on the ship, I think. Yeah, he's got to be on the ship because this is what happens. So he's on the ship, the brainwashing thing's going on, and then he's he finds where this is happening to try and shut it down. Some dude tries to put up the fucking dukes, and he just slaughters him. Just
go.
like 1, 2, out.
Give him that 2-piece, man.
Yeah. That one was really good. The whole Son of Batman series was actually really good. And then the last one is Batman Hush.
Which is an
And
excellent. I read that one too. Was just excellent. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it only I think it's part of this series because in the very beginning it shows Damien talking to Bruce about going on a date with this woman, and Damien acts a lot older than he actually is because that's the way he's been trained.
Yeah.
And he talks about talks to Bruce about making good judgments, and he's like, I think I know what I'm doing. And he goes, did you have that same opinion when you were dating my mother?
Oof. He's like, probably growled at him.
He's like, you're fucking grounded.
Oh, one last thing on Batman Bad Blood. So it features, I think it's Bad Blood. Yeah, Bad Blood features Batwoman, who is just some random woman who decides to start basically emulating Batman, but isn't afraid to use guns and things.
Yeah.
And then a guy similar to what's his name? Dr. Stone's kid, Cyborg. There's a guy that's similar to Cyborg where Batman has a guy working for him that develops all the tech, for him at Bruce's company.
Yeah.
Kid finds out, and he's an ex-military guy, and then goes into what they call the vault, because that's where a lot of this starts, and picks up this Batman suit and becomes Batwing or something like that. And he flies around with this future tech suit of Batman, being Batman.
Real quick, I'm assuming the voice of Batwoman was attractive because Yvonne Strahovski voiced her.
Yes,
Nice.
I was getting to that. I was like, there's something else about this that I need to remember, and I don't remember what it is. But thank you.
Miranda.
It is what she is voiced by Miranda.
Chuck.
Batman
Miranda.
Hush. Batman Hush is kind of the final piece of this. There's a new criminal in town. He's like killing people and taking everything from Batman, trying to get
Not
even with him. Batman gets involved romantically with Catwoman. That was what Damien was talking about, like making good judgments with a criminal and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, Batman was like, people can change. Not everybody stays a criminal forever. And Damien's like, no, they're just not criminals right now. Batman Hush was interesting. It was super dark with a lot of the deaths and things.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, you find out that Hush is actually
A friend.
the Riddler. Yeah. So the Riddler is going around killing like everybody, like even some of the old crime bosses, because he was never looked upon with any sort of respect, and now he's dying, and so he's like, I have nothing left to live for, so I'm just going to start, killing everybody and trying to take everything from everybody. And he finds a Lazarus pit and goes in, and then suddenly realizes who Batman actually is, and that's why he starts like targeting Batman and everything that Batman loves. What is it? So at the very end, Batman is like trying to save the Riddler from dying, in the warehouse where the Red Hood or where Joker originally started.
Yeah.
Where,
Ace Chemicals.
yes, in one of the chemical plants, which I found out, and I'll finish that in a second. I found out that the Joker has multiple different backstories because he likes to keep people guessing, which I thought was interesting. But he tries to save him. The place is exploding, and Catwoman's like, fuck this, and then cuts the line with her claws, and then drags him out, and the Riddler ends up dying in one of the vats in an explosion. And that's when she's like, you could have died. Like, why would you try and help him, knowing everything that he's done and sacrificing yourself? And he's like, if I have the ability to help people, I have to try.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this is an obsession. Like, you literally can't not do this, can you? Like, you would sacrifice yourself for these people, regardless of how terrible they are, if there's a chance that you could save them, even if it means you getting killed. And then they kind of, I'm assuming, break up at the end. I don't remember them like actually doing it, but
they're kind of an on and off type of relationship.
Yeah.
The
Killing Joke.
That bat.
Yeah. The Son of Batman series was great. Definitely go give that a watch. The Killing Joke was an interesting one. I didn't know that this was one of his backstories, but to me, it was a new backstory about how the Joker was created, how he was actually the original, one of the original personas of the Red Hood, and Batman is chasing him, and he trips and he falls into a vat of chemicals, and then after a very, very shit day where his pregnant wife gets shocked and both her and the baby die. He's like, I have nothing left to live for. There's no point in doing any of this. And then, he starts, when he gets dropped into the vat, he comes out and basically is just mad. He's just insane, has the chemicals affected his skin. And, he tries to take out everything on Batman, and Gordon. And so he kidnaps Gordon by showing up at Barbara's. What?
No, that scene makes me laugh because of how he comes up.
About how he when he shows up to Barbara's apartment. Yeah, so he shows up to Barbara's apartment in a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, and then as she opens the door, thinking it's her friend, he pulls a gun, shoves it in her stomach, and pulls the trigger and shatters her spine. And then while she's bleeding out on the floor, his goons take Gordon and take him to a theme park that he had just purchased. Or I don't know if it was purchased, but he took control of.
Yeah.
And he's trying to torment Gordon for helping Batman. And so he puts him on this ride that he starts showing all these very lewd pictures of Barbara being naked while she's bleeding out on the floor, to basically break his psyche. And then Batman shows up, saves the day, and at the very end he tells a joke and he and Batman both start laughing.
Yeah,
It was a little weird.
it's a bit. Yeah,
Okay, so the original writer of the comic wrote it that way, and then the laughing ends abruptly because the way he wrote it, and people, the higher ups are like, we don't know if we want to actually say this happened. That's when Batman kills the Joker. He laughs.
Well, he
and
actually
Joker.
kills him.
Yeah.
that's how he. That's why it ends.
That's why
Yeah,
the camera pans up, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the whole point of killing Joke was a righteous man, Commissioner Gordon, and he's still trying to prove the point that you're only one bad day away from being him. So as he's telling all this info, that's the premise of fucking with him like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I didn't realize that. But yeah, it pans up and then it just kind of cuts as the two of them are laughing together. And then that precedes Under the Red Hood by like a lot of years.
Yeah.
Because it still follows that same line. Because in Under the Red Hood, he talks. Jason talks about how Barbara got paralyzed, and then how the Joker paralyzed her, beat the shit out of him, and killed him, and he's still alive. The whole thing.
It was like a locker or a closet. He was like, "Then why is he still alive?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Under the Red Hood was just absolutely amazing. It was like one of their best movies. All right, Batman Ninja.
Yes. How great was that last fight?
I don't even know where to begin with this movie.
It had
it really just couldn't be any more ridiculous. Like, think of the most unrealistic things that you can possibly think of, and then they were like, "Yeah, that's normal here,"
You could say they had creative freedom making this.
I'm glad of the choices they made with Damien's outfit, though. That's one that needs to be continuing from here on out.
So the one thing I didn't understand, though, was that they had, like, all the Robins. Like, Dick Grayson was there, Red Robin, the Red Hood, and Damien were there.
Yeah.
Like, Robin Hood were there. Like, first of all, there's one person for two of these things, not two. Damien, I think, eventually adopts the Red Robin outfit at some point.
Tim Drake does.
I forgot about Tim.
Damien's the current Robin. Tim Drake goes to be Red Robin. Nightwing is obviously Dick, and then Red Hood is Jason.
Yes. Okay. I forgot about Tim Drake. So that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. So this movie just really couldn't be any more ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, whatever. So they get sent back in time. What's the?
It's like feudal Japan. Like
Grog sends them back.
Yeah.
Not Grog. Is it Grog?
I don't remember.
Grodd. So Grodd
yeah.
creates this machine, and it sends them back in time to feudal Japan, where he shows up like 2 years after like everybody else, maybe longer. And Joker is basically running things in wherever it is that he lands. His castle has giant mechanical fucking arms. Okay, like. First of all, no.
Wait,
second, what
Randall,
the fuck?
Let me pause right. Randall, you look at me like you haven't seen this movie.
To this day, this is the only Batman movie I've never seen.
We started it.
Randall, do you remember the movie you reviewed here, where like the whole point was the moving stations, but it was live action? Like whole cities.
I was watching the beginning of it with you guys, but either I left or fell asleep.
No, we fell asleep. That's how boring it was.
Okay, then go ahead, Kelsey. Sorry.
The last thing I remember seeing is them standing on a roof or some junk like that.
Okay.
I think the last thing I saw was someone turned into a car. I think that's what I saw.
It's the thing is, I forgot the movie that I'm talking about. Well, like the movie that it's like massive cities on wheels, and they're like tanks, and they're moving around. That's what this movie is, but Batman people.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I wanted to see that, but then you guys reviewed it, and I was like, I don't know that I want to see this.
Randall reviewed it. I didn't watch that movie because I'm like, I'm not fucking watching that because I saw Batman Ninja before that, and then I'm like, this is just Batman Ninja, but real life.
Yeah. It just gets worse and worse as you watch stuff. Like, you can understand some things. Like, I could understand some technological advancements because if they're running the place, they have access to thousands of people to make to work on stuff, but you have to have the resources, which feudal Japan does not have. Okay, like it doesn't exist. So they like all team up, and you find out that like all the different crime lords are running different parts of Japan, and they each have a part of one of the pieces that allows them to run the time machine and go back to their own time. And each one of them is trying to unify Japan and basically take control so they can go back to their own time.
Yeah.
Grodd is playing all sides because he's kind of out on his own, that things didn't work out for him when he came back, and so he's like working, whatever. And he tricks all of the crime lords into building these massive, basically like Autobots.
Yep.
That are the cities, like the city capital buildings or whatever. And then they start coming forward, and then they turn into Voltron.
Yep.
Okay? Voltron activates.
Whoa, you can't just skim past that like you didn't say what you just said. Voltron?
The fucking
yes,
cities.
they literally, like, Grodd takes control. He's in his own thing.
Yeah. And
then he's like, he puts on the mind control device, takes control of all of the crime bosses, and then is playing. What's the
Puppet Master?
Shit. No, but what's the shoji or whatever the game game pieces? Yeah, he's playing this, but he's actually taking control of each of the Autobots, and then puts another piece down, and they fucking form Voltron. Okay, so now it's just this giant fucking
monstrosity of cities that is just walking around. It's
okay. So now it gets even worse. Okay, so Voltron is formed, and the like power source is the machine that he built that allows them to teleport back or go back and forth in time.
Yeah.
Damien, I think it's Damien, has this flute that he got from Grodd that allows him to control Grodd's monkey army. So he plays it, and all these monkeys come together, and they start trying to climb and get into the Voltron. Well, Voltron shakes them off. So then they play a different tune, and the monkeys form a giant super monkey by stacking on top of each other and working together as a team. And they all have like armor on their backs and everything else. So then they're like, this monkey who's not nearly as big as Voltron is fighting it, and Grodd like opens up the centerpiece, and it's a flamethrower, and he blasts the monkeys with the flamethrower, and they're like sitting there blocking like this, and you can see them slowly dying away because they're literally on fire. It gets worse.
Hold on, wait. I got.
Mike, man, you gotta get closer to the mic.
Kelsey, you're a resilient person, aren't you? How did you continue to watch this?
I personally kept watching it because I loved the character model. Everything it was in 3D, so it looked cool moving around. Their outfits are drastically different than what we're used to, and I like the look of it.
It was like Berserk met Batman.
Yeah, it was really cool looking. It's just the plot was just so weird, but you can go ahead and answer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the reason why you kept watching was because of eye candy.
No, at this point, I just wanted to know how this ends. Like, I was like, how ridiculous is this going to get?
Yeah.
So then, okay, here we go. So, Batman, Batman has the sonar thing that he can, like, summon bats and whatever. So he does that, and then the bats all show up.
Yep.
And they start forming around the monkeys while the flamethrower is on them, and turn into a giant classic Batman.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, it's a Batman. No, like the gray, like black bats turn into the like gray outfit with the yellow and the symbol and everything else. Okay? And now the Batman monkey...
I need you to explain this to me. We got monkeys which are brown.
Yeah.
We got bats which are black.
They're wearing yellow armor. They're wearing yellow outfits. So when it shows the big monkey, he's yellow.
Yeah.
pretty simple, Rand. I can explain it to you right now. Would you like me to do that?
He's
Sure,
he's,
sure.
he's having a hard time with this.
All right, so you see the black part, the bats, right? The gray, all the charred monkeys, right? And then the yellow is the remaining monkeys with the gold on.
Yeah.
So the bats form a giant, authentic, like Adam West looking Batman. Okay,
Oh,
which is now as big as Voltron.
Yep.
Batman then picks up, or maybe they were already holding it. I think the reason the monkeys were shielding is because they were holding on to the Batman, and then when the Batman was created, he's holding on to all of them in his hand, and then the Batman punches Voltron, and all the bats explode out of his hand and drop the Batmen into the Voltron. And then they break up and start going and fighting all the different crime bosses. I think that's it. I think I covered everything.
You missed the ultimate fucking Batman version of the Spirit Bomb when he takes the sword out and then he does the devastating blow to Voltron.
I don't honestly remember that.
It's like a huge shot of him taking out the fucking sword, just a storm going everywhere.
But what was the sword made of?
Randall, fucking Gotham's hopes and dreams, right? That's what it was made out of.
Like, this could have been an amazing movie. Like, don't get me wrong.
I
It was
enjoyed
one
it
of those.
I enjoyed it up until the fucking city started crawling, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, you lost me already. Before
Like,
that, I'm like, oh, I'm cool with this.
I could possibly understand him having one giant arm to control the city. Sure, I can probably look past that. But after that, it was like, are we serious? Are we serious here? Like, are we fucking serious? You know, like they could have had this awesome, like they could have had some technological advances over a couple of years. Grodd is super smart. He created a
I don't want to see it, Anthony.
Huh?
I don't want to see it.
You should see it.
You need to see it.
Yeah.
I recommend it for anyone who doesn't like Damien to look at his outfit.
I honestly can't really recommend this movie just because okay. I can recommend this movie to people who are like, they just enjoy everything, and the more ridiculous it is, the better. But I can't really recommend this to like actual Batman fans.
I went to the moviedv.org and then it has 2 reviews. The first one, it just all caps, black bold letters, total crap. Again, I kept watching because I just liked looking at it.
This is the
art style was great.
Yeah, I loved it. The art style was fantastic. The rest of it, I'm like, Godspeed, my guy. I didn't really care, but I just enjoyed watching them, and that's it.
This
Like,
is the
it
only
reminds me of
Batman
Berserk
movie
or-
I've not seen. Like,
To completion.
yeah, I've seen every Batman movie, animated, everything. Well, I haven't seen the What's the ones y'all talk about that y'all seen? The live action ones with George Clooney and Val Kilmer.
Oh yes,
I haven't seen those,
Those are really entertaining, actually.
I thought you liked Batman.
but everything else I've seen.
I think you should watch Batman Forever with Arnold in it and
No,
the Val Kilmer
Mr.
one
Freeze. That is an
yeah.
awesome
I
one.
can sell it to you with one line from beloved Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. While spraying someone with his ice beam, he goes, "Chill out." So
No.
let me know what you think of the movie after you watch it.
I think that's a movie I gotta watch while on
That's
Cloud
it.
9. I
That's-
haven't seen that movie in so long. I need to rewatch that.
that's so bad. I've seen pictures of it, and the Batmobile looks like a rave. I don't even know what to call it. It just looks terrible.
Did you know that if Poison Ivy kisses you, but you have plastic on your lips, you're safe?
The poison doesn't go through plastic.
Yeah, Batman and Robin, 1997, with George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell as Batman and Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Arnold is Dr. Freeze. Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy, and Alicia Silverstone is Batgirl. It was awesome.
I think you should watch it. Again, I saw it back a long time ago. I would like to rewatch it, but like either drunk or just fucking destroyed or something, like just to see how it holds up. But
Nah,
that's
I
that.
gotta stick with quality, man.
Okay, that's fair. That's
I
fair.
can't. No. As soon as I
These
seen that
are
thing,
quality. The live action movies are quality.
Huh?
They're quality content because it's entertaining. It's so like we said, like it's so bad. It prestiges into this is it's too funny.
I feel like that's kind of how Batman Ninja is. It's just it gets so ridiculous. You're just like, are we serious here?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand with you with that. I think Batman Ninja for me prestige. Like it drew me in because the art style, the costume designs are different. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Then I'm like, what the fuck? This is getting stupid. And then I'm like, okay, this is really stupid. So
So, yeah.
So do you
I
recommend?
think it's worth it. I think it's worth at least one watch.
one watch
Because it's
that's
just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not recommend watching this more than once. Like, but it is definitely worth at least one watch.
At no time
my
while you were
money's
watching it. Oh my bad. Go ahead, Brian.
I got my money's worth within the 30 or so minutes when I saw Damien. So from that, I recommend it.
What were you gonna ask, Randall?
Oh, I was gonna ask Kelsey. At no time when you were watching this did you like want to stop?
No. Say again. Sorry.
I said at no time when you were watching this did you like not want to stop?
Oh, I paused it multiple times. Where I'm like, do I really want to finish this? Do I really want to keep going? I have to see how bad this gets. I really just do. Because like the first part of it, Batman's got his Batmobile, and it's like the most advanced. His suit and the Batmobile, are the most advanced thing there, right? And then he like starts going up to Joker's castle, and the giant fucking arm comes out. I was like, okay, I can sort of see this because Grodd's behind this. He's really good with making technology.
Yep.
And they have access to literally millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not millions, but they have a ton of people that they can basically work into the ground.
Yeah.
Because they're running the place, and I'm sure that they're just killing people who don't agree with them.
Correct.
And then it got to the fucking Autobots,
Yep.
and I was like, no, just no. Next thing you know, they're gonna there it is. There's Voltron. Oh my god, you've got to be joking. And then it gets even more ridiculous with the fucking monkeys, and then the bats show up, and you're just like, it just can't get any worse, can it?
The thing is, it's a regular weird version of Batman, right? And then it stumbles down anime stairs, and there's no stopping it. It just keeps tripping over down, and just keeps going until the credits roll. And it gets so anime, you're like, am I watching Batman? Or is this just, But for me, in an entertaining way, where I'm like, okay, they definitely let them, they gave them creative freedom. That's
So when Brian and I fell asleep, you was still awake
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
I
my
feel like
God.
I feel like this could have been genuinely a great Batman movie. Like him going back in time, losing all of his stuff, becoming a samurai,
Damien,
like trying to unite feudal Japan, that kind of thing. And
I knew you were missing one here. You didn't have Gaslight on here.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was literally just thinking about that when Kelsey was talking about.
Gaslight.
There's a
Yeah.
Batman movie you missed.
though. That's an alternate Batman.
An alternate Batman, but it's Gotham at Gaslight or something like that. And it takes its place during the Jack the Ripper times.
This didn't come up in my search.
I'm looking at this list. I'm like, he's missing one, right? Like I'm looking at this. I'm like, there's something missing. It's Gaslight. You haven't seen.
Hang on.
It's funny because when you pulled up the review, it was at the bottom left of the screen.
Oh, then maybe I saw it subconsciously, and I'm like, that's what he's missing. Which one did I pull up? Ninja.
Yeah,
Let's do that one.
this doesn't. My list, my search list doesn't show up with that.
Batman. Gaslight? Is it Gaslight? Yep, Gotham by Gaslight. Came out in 2018.
Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah.
There's also apparently one called Batman Gotham Knight.
Yeah, there's that one too. And the Dark... Oh, you don't have the Dark Knight Returns on here.
Oh yeah, when he's
I
old.
did that one already on the Superman one because it
You're
was.
right. You're right, because it was tied. You're right.
It had Superman in it.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, well, I'll get those two watched and then reviewed.
Yeah, I gotta
For
watch
next
the long...
week.
I gotta watch the first part of the Long Halloween. Because I haven't seen it yet. And
And then the Long Halloween, yeah.
And once you've watched all the Batman movies, then in order to be your 100% honorary Batman legend, you have to meet me outside in the cold
Oh, shit.
with no shirt
Brandon, you
on.
haven't even seen all the movies.
I've seen all the movies that matter.
That's not the same thing as seeing all the movies.
You haven't. You had
Stay in
the
the
live
house.
action
Keep it
movies are
outside.
really good, dude.
Which ones?
All of them. I thoroughly enjoyed every single one of them, especially Batman and Robin with
No one
Mr.
talks about
Freeze and-
George Clooney being Batman.
I do.
lots
No
of people
one talks
do.
about Val
said that
Kilmer being
multiple
Batman.
times.
Val Kilmer, I
Val-
make fun
Val-
of being Batman, yeah.
Val Kilmer was an awesome Batman.
They talk about Batfleck, Michael Keaton, and Christian Bale.
I
So,
mean, Randall, that's
Batfleck
nothing
and
that-
Christian Bale were just the most recent. All of the
Yeah.
other ones were like 1990s or earlier.
Randall, what you just said has nothing to do with you haven't seen all of them.
Mm-hmm.
He has. He's more of a Batman than you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You're getting too far. You're going too
Oh,
far.
I thought.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me look this up. Let me count these. Okay, so we got Batman 1989. That's one.
You've seen that one, which is the Jack Nicholson one, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. You saw that.
as the Joker. Batman
I'm telling
Returns
you.
92.
I've seen
Batman
everyone except for I've seen everyone except for the one that had Val Kilmer and George Clooney in it. Those are the only ones I haven't seen.
I thought you liked Batman, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it anymore.
Crazy.
So you haven't seen Batman Forever?
Yeah, that one was okay too.
That with
Who
the
hasn't
Riddler
seen
with
Oh, who?
I thought you said you didn't see
No, I'm saying who played Batman in that one. And
Val
Forever.
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
And Jim
did.
Carrey was Enigma, and Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face.
Mhm.
Okay. The Jim Carrey one sounds like a good casting.
It's
It
an
was.
amazing
It was
casting.
a good casting. He did great.
You think you know someone?
You know,
Like a new girl. Oh, you really thought you knew someone.
I might have to go back and watch all of the
classic
live
ones?
action ones next too.
I think I watched it.
Randall.
He's
not laughing nothing.
anyway.
He still would have to read all the comics that I've read and played and beat all the Batman games.
Now he's just throwing stuff in there.
He's
So,
scrambling
last
to
but
get
not-
some. Go ahead.
Last but not least in my list is Soul of the Dragon.
This one I haven't seen either.
So it's part of the
I think
disco
you
era,
reviewed it.
Yeah, I reviewed
or it feels like it's the disco era. It's basically Bruce Lee and Michael Jai White, and I don't know if I can't think of an Asian female off the top of my head. Or what's her name?
Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu. Yeah, meets this generic Bruce Wayne. Okay, so he goes to this. He climbs this mountain, finds this door that's like hidden. He's in this icy mountain, and knocks, and finally it opens, and he goes in, and there's this old monk that is like, "Welcome, you've traveled a very long way. We've been expecting you." And he's like, "What's going on?" And the guy's like, "You're the sixth." And he's like, "The sixth?" And it shows,
Cake.
Bruce Lee, Michael Jai White, Lucy Liu, and then some random white dude and another Asian chick.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're
So
like
just to-
training. Go ahead.
Real quick, just to give context. So the dudes that he's mentioning are from like Enter the Dragon. So the black dude is like Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
The white dude is Harper.
Okay.
Obviously,
Do they call him that in the movie
in the Enter the Dragon movie.
No,
the
in
live
Soul-
action. But no, they're like, I don't know the right word to use. They're like rip-offs of those characters.
Got it. Okay.
Because they look just like them.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Michael Jai White plays Afro Samurai. Okay, like a buff version of Afro Samurai.
Oh,
And then-
I thought you said Afro Samurai's in this. I'm like, what?
No.
No, you remember
He's-
the black dude, Jim Kelly, that
Yeah.
was the Enter the Dragon? That's the dude that he's calling Michael Jai.
Gotcha.
I'm
Go
looking
ahead.
at a picture of Batman. The guy that looks like Bruce Lee, the lady with the sword, and then Luke Cage with an afro. And I'm just thinking this is literally Heroes for Hire with Batman involved.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so they're training, and Michael Jai White's learning to control his anger, and Michael Jai White's learning to control his anger, and so he's just like beating the fuck out of whatever it is that he's training in, and they go to get rice, or they're like sitting down as like a team, a family, whatever you want to call it, eating, and Bruce gets up to go get some more food, and ends up taking the last little bit of rice. And Michael Jai White starts calling him White Rice. He's like, White Rice, I know you didn't just take the last of what's in there. And just like starts putting him down and then starts beating the ever-loving fuck out of him.
Holy
Okay?
shit. Okay.
But Bruce just keeps getting back up. And
Hell
then
yeah.
then Michael's like, okay, man, I got you. You know, you I got you. It's whatever. And so he like carries him to what I'm assuming would be the infirmary, you know, to help patch him up.
Okay.
And as they're walking, Bruce goes, you know, I'm hungry. And Michael goes, an ass whooping will do that to you.
Oh shit. Take that L, my guy.
So then like there's this mysterious door that the monk won't tell them about, and is just glosses over it anytime anybody asks and whatever, and then tells all of the people what their purpose is. You know, and it's to defend the world from something. And he pulls out this sword, and he's like, somebody needs to guard the sword. And he's trying to choose them. And the woman's name is Shiva. Shiva.
Okay.
That's Lucy Liu. Okay, so Lucy Liu's name is Shiva in this. And he's like, I want you to guard this. Do you accept? And then the random other Asian chick is like, okay. And you know, I think she'd have been there. I think Shiva had been there longer than almost everybody except for, you said Harper, the white guy?
Roper.
Yeah. So she had been there longer than anybody except for him, but was like training way more, was way better, and basically a teacher's pet for it. And the monk was like, do you got something to say? And she's like, you're just choosing her because she's the teacher's pet. Like, any one of us could actually defend the sword. He's like, okay. And then he looks at Harper and is like, Harper, I want you to beat the shit out of Shiva. And Shiva, you can only defend yourself with one finger. And everybody else is like,
What?
the fuck? There's no way.
Uh-huh.
She brutalizes this dude with a single goddamn finger. She
Whoa.
like, yes, yeah.
Like
So
that's what happens.
So he like attacks her. He like attacks her, and she like, you know, dodges and whatever, and then gets around him, fish hooks him like this, and throws his ass. Okay, like gets the finger in the mouth, and there's like a whole scene of him like being dragged like this, and just gets thrown.
Jeez.
Okay.
You're a bad bitch. Let's go.
And then the guy gets back up and tries to like continue, and then she like stabs him in the stomach with her finger. Doesn't like pierce anything, but like, you know, she pops him in the stomach, and then like I think pokes him in the eye or something.
Oof.
And you know, the guy like can't really continue, and then the monk's like, that's enough, and then looks at the chick and is like, you still disagree with my decision? And she's just like, nah, I'm good.
I ain't trying to get fingered, bro.
Yeah. So, and then a few moments later, Harper ends up stealing the sword, kills the random other chick, and then opens this doorway, because there's like behind the mysterious door is a gateway, and the only way to open the gate to this realm with like some snake god or something is to sacrifice somebody with the sword in front of the gate.
Got
Okay.
it.
So sacrifices it, opens it up. The snake god's minions start coming out and eat Harper, and then everybody starts like having the last four of them and the monk start trying to defend themselves, and the monk's like, this is your destiny now. The only way to close the gate is also to sacrifice something, and he walks through the gate. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And let's see. Then a bunch of years pass. Bruce Lee infiltrates this the Snake God clan, and then comes to Bruce saying that they've got a problem. They need to do this, that, and the other thing, and then finds out that Bruce is actually Batman because Bruce doesn't put up any sort of fight until he like turns off the lights and runs and puts on his little suit.
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, we need to find Shiva. And Shiva is apparently a huge crime boss in Gotham that's running like these underground fighting things. And they like walk in and there's a fight going on, and one of the contenders cheats basically like by using like a glass or something from the audience to disable the dude. And Shiva comes down and is like, "You've dishonored this house. Get the fuck out." And the guy's like, "You want to go?" And just gets absolutely demolished. Okay.
Good. Gets fucking bodied in front of all his stupid friends.
Yes. So that happens. The snake people end up stealing the sword. They go after him. Batman just looks out of place in this whole thing because he's just walking around in his goddamn suit with everybody, while this whole thing's going on.
That's what Randall said too. He's like a sore thumb or something.
So like later in the story, they go to the island, the Snake God Island, where they're trying to like resummon the Snake God and have him take over this kid that was basically like groomed to be the host for him. And
Sasuke.
Yeah. And well, I mean the guy was a little bitch, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So then they like, the evil people have their own share of evil like henchmen, and there's always like the knights or whatever. And so then like the Shiva breaks off with this other chick, and they're like fighting with swords, and Shiva throws the sword at her.
Oh.
And the woman is like, "Fool, you gave up the weapon." And she goes, "I am the weapon."
Ooh.
Okay? And then chops through a fucking sword. like
the sharp end?
Yes. Like the girl comes up and is like doing like this or something, and she just goes and just shatters the sword. Okay?
Alex, man. She did like this.
I don't honestly remember. It's been like 3 weeks since I've seen these. Okay?
Did it cut to Batman looking at his stupid gauntlets and going, "The fuck out"?
He wasn't there. They were like split
Yeah.
off.
Oh, okay. And that was
They
Batman,
were fighting.
Stopped.
No, him and Michael were fighting some snake creatures.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then Bruce Lee and Shiva,
Did their own
broke
thing.
off and were going after whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So then like the guy opens the door by sacrificing himself, thinking that's what's gonna allow the Snake God to capture him, and stabs through himself into the door. He dies. The door opens. Out walks the monk from the beginning. Only it's not him. It's the Snake God thing. Okay, that's taken over the monk's body. Well, they fight. Whatever. They win. Now they got to close the door because the Snake God retreated. Out of the master's body, and they're like standing around the master because he's dying, and they're like, "We got to shut the door." And then Michael's like, "Where's white rice?" And then Batman's already in the fucking, demon realm or whatever this thing is. And then the three of them come in, the door shuts, and Batman's just standing there looking weird as fuck in his costume with a goddamn sword in his hand. Okay? And then it ends. And you're like,
Oh, wait, what?
it's just a cliffhanger. You're just like, so do they? Are they just trapped there now? Like, is that it? Like, what?
Oh, that's abrupt. Is this supposed to be a part 1? Is it a part 2?
No. At the end of the meeting, everyone agreed like we're gonna pretend like this never happened.
Okay, we got to our runtime quota. Pack it and ship it, boys.
This will never be spoke of again.
Like, it's worth watching just to watch Shiva destroy fucking everybody.
It sounds like she's the star of this movie.
It kind of
she
is.
was,
Is she the soul of the dragon?
It sounds
she was,
like
yes.
She was better than everybody as far as fighting, including
What about pizza?
I'm willing to go. Kelsey, you could chime in if you disagree with me or not, but I'm willing to say that Batman was like the weakest out of all of them.
That's insane.
See, he doesn't even like Batman.
I'm just keeping it 100, man. He couldn't.
No, I mean it's true. Like even though he's got like all this training, like they were there training for I don't even know how long before he even shows up, you know, and then like he's got all this other training, but they've been doing whatever that they've been doing forever, and he's basically just a kid compared to most of them.
Dang.
Except for maybe Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee just has all the natural talent, you know. But it basically was like you had Shiva, Michael, Bruce, Lee, and then some random kids, and then Bruce. Okay, like
That's pretty bad. Oops.
Man.
so, yeah.
It sounds like this one's a skip though.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. I didn't care for the cliffhanger. He looked really weird and out of place, but the movie itself was decent.
Okay, so don't watch it for Batman. It sounds like Shiva's the one to watch it for.
Basically, you know, like she's even though it like has a heavy focus on a very heavy focus on Bruce and Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like it features the two of them, I think, more than any other character, and you know, and it has the weird like timeline where it's like it shows the now and like progressing, and then it shows, you know, some backstory, and then it shows now again, and it shows a little more backstory, and then it shows, you know, the ending, and then there's no real ending.
Oh, I would have been tight with that.
No.
I don't like that. That just abruptly for no. Sorry, getting emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend watching all of these at least once. If you watch Batman: Death in the Family, don't watch any of the shorts unless you really want to, except for Death. I thought Death was by far the best.
Yeah.
You know, you can even skip the Under the Red Hood retelling if you really wanted to. Otherwise, go look up all of the different endings, you know, on YouTube because they're all over the place. All of them were worth at least one watch. The Son of Batman series was really good. It was really well done. Under the Red Hood was probably the best one out of all of them. And then there's Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
So
I debate with that being the best one. If you cut off the first 30 minutes of Killing Joke, it's a 1-to-1 to the comic, and I think that's better than Under the Red Hood.
I might be
the
with
Killing Joke was really good.
I'm with
Like
Brian on that.
if you really like think about, you know, like you said, if you have that knowledge, or maybe he said it in the movie and I just didn't realize it or didn't like put it together about how you're just one bad day away from being me. I wish if he really does kill him at the end, I wish they had left that in or like hinted at it more, because I feel like that would have been a better ending.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well,
not just
the laugh was
what?
the laugh that it ended abruptly. It was like odd. So it kind of, even if you didn't put one and one together that he killed him, you knew something happened. Because it was like they were laughing and he just stopped like abruptly.
Yeah, like in
But
the
it really,
comic, I
like-
think they're both laughing, and I think Batman keeps laughing and Joker doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the last panel.
But like that's not. I mean, unless you're really paying attention, I don't feel like that's something you would pick up on. That's not like that was not the conclusion that I came to.
Mhm.
It's also been, like I said, 3 weeks, so I don't really remember, you know, and so it may have been one of those things that I thought about that when I watched it, but that was not something that crossed my mind, you know, with the review.
Yeah.
I wish I would rather have them shown him just like ending it or like doing something that was a little more, cut and dry to this is what happened.
Like a
Then
gunshot.
yeah, like
A gun-
something, you know, like seriously. So like in Death in the Family, if you go back and you watch the endings, I mean, there's actual death. I mean, even under the Red Hood, like he's killing all sorts of people. And uh, the Death in the Family, he's like, it's the scene where they're on the bridge, and Joker is getting ready to kill Black Mask or do something. I guess Black Mask is already dead in that one, but they're like on the bridge, and Red Hood comes down and like starts beating the shit out of Joker, and then some smoke comes up as after their big exchange, but he's got like a gun to his forehead, and Joker's like, "So tell me, who's your daddy?" or something like that. And then the smoke envelops them, but you still see the silhouettes of them, and then you hear the explosion, and then it cuts to Gordon charging the
defibs.
the thing, and you find Joker there with a big smile on his face and a fucking bullet in his head. You know he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like with the original comic, the writer said that he had to dial it back because they were like the higher ups.
DC.
Like, I don't know.
Because it's Batman killing. It's different when
The intentional ending. He said it was going to be Batman snapping his neck.
Like even if they had like the sound, as he's laughing, like something, that kind of alluded to that. Because the abrupt laughter stopping, I didn't hear it, or I don't remember hearing it. That was not a conclusion that I came to listening to them do it. So, I mean, I'll have to go back and watch the ending again, just to see if there's
maybe if Joker's
something.
laugh stops before Batman's.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I recommend watching all of these at least once. Year one and Assault on Arkham are kind of whatevers. Under the Red Hood is definitely worth a watch. All the Son of Batmans are great. The Killing Joke is great. Soul of the Dragon it's not like great, but it's decent. He just looks odd. Batman Ninja, just get as high as you can because Cloud9 is definitely where you need to be to watch that fucking movie.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. We'll keep it moving then. Randall, you revisited a classic trilogy.
Oh, you talking about Rush Hour?
Yes.
Yeah, I just put it on while I was working, and I don't know, I was just in the mood to watch Rush Hour, so
To laugh hysterically.
watching
I know.
the first one, and then after that, it was just a spiral. So I watched the first one, and I watched the second one, and I watched the third one.
Which one's your favorite?
And why is it one?
I don't know, man. I could
You don't know
definitely see.
why it's number one,
I
or you
could
don't know
def-
which one is your favorite.
I don't know which one is my favorite. I could definitely say the third one isn't. So it's between 1 and 2.
For me,
What about number 4?
There is no 4.
not yet.
They were supposed to be, but it didn't end up happening.
I don't know if it's because it's like my first Rush Hour or my first like movie I looped in my life, but one by far, like 2 and 3 are like thank you for making them, but 1 is the Rush Hour. Period.
Yeah.
Like thank you for making more, but if those 2 were deleted from my memory and existence, I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
The better question is, what's your favorite quote from the first one? Because that's obviously the better one.
Yeah, like it.
My favorite quote from the first one.
And the whole movie is quotable. You can ask me. I've literally learned the whole script at this point.
I like wipe yourself off. You're dead.
When who said you don't like you're bleeding?
Yeah, no, I was gonna go through a couple of them because
Okay.
I can't just pick one. That is my gun is funny.
Oh my god! Yeah, is that my gun? It is my gun.
Which one of y'all just kicked me?
Yeah, he has the big ass eyes too. God, it's great. It's too good.
We do have a nice time together.
Yo, Cap, this ain't funny. I'm about to drop his ass off a Panda Express. Beach Boys is great American music. Beach Boys can give you a great ass whooping.
That's what your black man radio, boy.
Get your hands off. Get your hands off my suit. Your mama bought me this suit. It's my favorite suit.
Give me this for Christmas.
Yeah, give me this for
That was
Christmas.
the second one.
That's sick weed.
Don Cheeto was in the second one, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's like,
You tell us, you saw it.
you're
Yeah.
embarrassed. He's like, you're embarrassing yourself. You're a black man with a Chinese restaurant on Crenshaw.
Yeah.
I don't know what else.
Okay. I mean, obviously, I was gonna ask you if it holds up, but I'm gonna answer that for you. Absolutely. Go watch the first rush hour.
Definitely. It still holds up. It's still funny.
Shit. Shishimi.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I can
What
watch
doesn't
that
hold
any
up
day.
is the action. Some of the action I was looking at is kind of
It's for its time.
yeah.
It's the type of action that was for during the time. A little bit after Jackie Chan's like amazing work as stunt acting. Like it's still in there, but it's not.
I don't think it's Jackie Chan's part. I think it's Chris Tucker's contribution was it seems
Alarming.
dated.
Yeah, because you can see, like, especially when they're doing. Say again.
He doesn't know how to fight like that. At least in
Well,
the
I mean,
first
I'm not
movie.
saying he had to do martial arts, but it's just some of the stuff he was doing was just.
You guys remember how he got onto the motorcycle and he's chasing Jackie Chan when he's on? They're doing the
And like it wiggles a bit on it. Yeah, it's so good. Shit, man. All right. If you don't have anything else to add, I mean, all I have is good things to say about Rush Hour. It's not like I grew up watching it, so. Randall looks like he's going through it right now. You good, man? Are you smiling and just staring up to
chasing
the
him in the beginning of the movie, and Jackie Chan got on the bus, and he thought he was safe.
And then the gun comes out.
He said, "I'm not playing with you."
Yeah.
He takes the picture. He goes like,
Yeah, he's like,
and then he goes,
it's so stupid, man.
"Our maps."
Get your star right. And then he sees just like star. Oh my god. You want bum bitch? I ain't no bum bitch neither.
Oh yeah.
You bum bitch. Oh my god, this is not a Rush Hour quoting podcast. We're gonna keep it moving
My
here
dad was catch a bullet with his bare hand.
with his bare
Every,
hand.
every time,
Watch your bullet.
every time I hear the word bitch, all I can think of is white people going, "Hey, puta bitch," and it's like, bruh, just stop.
Stop, please. My nipples just got like not in the right way touched. No one up? No one. All right, we're gonna move on to the notable releases here and wrapping up here. You know what I'm saying? What are you making that noise for, bro?
What's free on Epic this week?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I took off the section because reasons.
Tomorrow, speaking of notable releases, Kazuya's out in Smash.
Oh, there we go.
They usually update.
You know what's
around-
not out tomorrow?
Ooh, what?
Fucking Waluigi in Smash.
Oof.
That'll never happen. They know my bond with this character, and it can never be.
For notable releases for games, we have Disgaea 6 on Divines of Destiny Unrelenting Edition on Switch, Blasphemous Deluxe Edition, Destroy All Humans DNA Collector's Edition, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol, Sword of the Necromancer Ultra Collection Edition. There's a bunch of Greedfall Gold Edition, a lot of Collector's Edition. You know?
The Doki Doki Literature Club Plus game with extra story. on
Yeah,
Switch.
and that's out as well. Half-Life Restored. I don't know what the hell that is, but
You're
go
still
with
out
that.
there.
Oh, thanks. When is Friday is the what? The 2nd? Cool. That way I don't go over here. Fear 2 that disappeared 207. Whatever that means. Game.exe releases on Friday. That's great. And that's it for the games this week. You know what I'm saying? Like it's quick.
There's a name of a game that comes out on the 2nd called Revolver and Co.
So you're maining it?
And I clicked the link.
Okay.
Free this week on Epic is Sonic Mania. It's like a whole bunch of classic Sonic games and some newer ones.
Mm-hmm.
And also Horizon Chase Turbo, which looks uh, like the original Gran Turismo, like for the
Okay.
PlayStation.
Oh, like it's like a racing game with PlayStation graphics. That's pretty cool. That's become a more an increasingly aesthetic now. I
Actually,
think
it looks more like something you would see in like an actual race, like a racing game in an arcade.
like Initial
Uh,
D or
shit, what's
Automobilista
the
or
no the Cruising USA,
oh, okay, those
like
arcade style
like
games.
that
I see.
style. It actually looks really cool. Apparently, it's like up to 4 player.
Split screen, I'm
Um,
assuming.
I would guess so.
I mean,
Yeah, up to 2 player split screen.
if it
I have
looks
a
like
picture of it. I can prove
Yo.
it.
nice.
No, I wait till you finish. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I mentioned it when you're done. Go ahead, Kelsey.
That was it.
I'm looking at this Revolver and Co game. It's a trivia. You have a revolver that asks you questions, and it's a trivia game. And if you answer correctly, you shoot the person in front of you. It looks like, and you move on. Because you've been hired to find a treasure, and there's like coordinates, like to find out the person who left the treasure to get there. And so it's a gun that asks you trivia questions, and you shoot people if you're right.
Okay, so right up your alley, Brian.
So Kelsey, I just like looked up the video on YouTube for Killing Joke and listen to that part that we were all talking about. Going back to listen to that after having the conversation that we all just had, that junk is really eerie and creepy, bro. Cause like I didn't even realize, cause I hadn't seen it in such a long time either. But when they start, so first of all, when they start laughing,
Yeah.
Batman is standing in front of the Joker, and then he puts his hands around his neck, and then the camera starts to pan up as they're both
Oh, I must
laughing.
admit, I had to miss that. Like I after Brian said about the laughter, I vaguely remember the Joker starting laughing, Batman starting laughing, and then just Batman laughing.
Yeah, so
And I don't remember the.
so they're like standing in front of each other, and then they're laughing, and then Batman is
Yeah.
laughing, and he starts to put his hands around his neck, and then the camera
Oh.
is panning up at the same time, and then the Joker stops laughing, and Batman is still laughing for like another 10 seconds.
Okay, so yeah, it's exactly how it ended.
All right.
The reading it and then watching after the fuck scene. Like
Yeah.
after literally
After
30 minutes with
the
actual
Batgirl
killing.
shit was whatever. Go ahead.
It's a classic in both regards.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to just go back and watch the ending of that one. Because I think I was like listening, like watching, listening, and doing something else at the same time. It may have been I was just distracted because I remember him standing in front, and I remember the laughing, but I don't remember the hands. So we'll have to see.
Alrighty. Moving right along here for movies released this week, we got Cinderella Story, Starstruck, available for like digital purchase or whatever. It's basically straight to DVD kind of thing. Zola, that looks like it's like an indie movie. I'm assuming. Audible is a Netflix movie. No Sudden Move, an HBO movie, HBO Max movie. I'm sorry. Summer of Soul, it's released in theaters. I'm assuming. The Boss Baby Family Business, which is going to be in theaters as well. The Forever Purge, also in theaters. A Dim Valley, limited release. I guess it's some sort of indie movie. Fear Street Part 1, 1994, which is the first out of 3 movies that Netflix is releasing. It's supposed to be like a trilogy for like a horror movie trilogy or something. First Date on video on demand and digital. Let Us In on digital. Long Story Short on digital. Summer of Soul on Hulu, I guess. So it's actually going to be day and date theaters and on Hulu. The God Committee, it's going to be limited. The Phantom and the Tomorrow War, which is going to be an Amazon Prime exclusive with Chris Pratt. And that's for the movies. For music this week, what we got? Not much. Cool. Well, Lana finally is going to drop her album that she delayed already multiple times. Desperate Journalist is dropping something. Cub Scout bowling pins. Bobby Giuseppe Gillespie and Jenny Beth at the Gates. Laura Mulva and the Go Team. All releasing projects this week, and that's it. Randall, what are you releasing this week?
I don't think I'm releasing anything, but I will be playing more Tekken, doing more art, going to the gym, working, praying.
Yes, good man.
I feel like I need to try to play.
Girls on sale?
No, actually, it's in terms of new games. I was either going to try Strive or play Ratchet and Clank. I still need to. I feel like I need to finish Returnal before I play anything new.
Good fucking luck. Dude.
Yeah, Godspeed.
There is no finishing Returnal.
Really? There's no ending?
There is an ending. It's just.
Oh, okay.
You've taken so much, in my opinion, you've taken so much of a gap. You're starting from ground zero again.
Oh. Yeah.
Same with me. Like I haven't played in such a long time.
Out of the three of us, though, I haven't got that far, so I don't think it would be that bad for me.
Okay.
Well, I just mean beating the game. Good fucking luck.
Why you haven't?
Because it's difficult. He's tried it. He's gotten the furthest.
I've had to stop.
Might have to start playing this then.
It's right up your alley, Kelsey.
It's so fucking difficult. And then when I was like, "Oh, I beat it," it said Act 1 cleared, and I was like, "What?" And then just yeah.
It hits you with such a fucking mix-up.
Good fucking luck.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
If I had to, if you wanted a recommendation from me, go with Strive.
Why?
Because it's the most popular right now. It's doing gangbusters. You can probably find matches quickly.
Yeah, but Ratchet and Clank looks good, man.
I mean, it is, but that's a single player game. You can play it anytime. Just saying. Kelsey, what you doing? What you releasing?
I don't know, man. I haven't really been streaming that much recently. Haven't really made any of my Thursday deadlines because either my buddy gets, pulled onto something or I do.
For Wasteland.
Wasteland, yeah. I mean, this weekend is 4th of July, so I'll be barbecuing or cooking out with my neighbors and the daughters, and probably shooting off a bunch of fireworks.
Nice.
Do they own Skullgirls?
Okay. I mean, technically,
I already own 4 copies of Skullgirls, and I've already bought 8 more to give to friends. So there's not much more I can do with that.
That's a good start, I would say.
But you can just keep buying more, is what he's saying.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, that's
yeah.
fair.
I mean, I'm in the middle of Legend of Mana. I'm about 11 hours in, I think. I looked it up, and you can do like start to finish in about 15, 20 hours if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or following a guide. I'm following a guide this time because I was like reading over some of the stuff. Like I remember how to do a lot of things, but the way that the world works is you find these artifacts and you place them down, and where you place them makes a difference. Where and when you place them makes a difference on like quests that you can get and items and that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, I want to just 100% it, one time and just be, that's it.
And just be done with it.
And
cool. That makes sense. You're not streaming that?
I did for a little bit, but
Okay.
it really didn't get any viewers, so kind of did it on my own. I could jump on for a little while and play, and then, turn it off whenever I need to.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, that's fair. Brian, what are you releasing this week?
Releasing, I don't know, but tomorrow I gotta write and fucking record myself and then finish the 3rd and final song in the last day of the monthly course thing. Wednesday, I'm getting shot with friends. We're playing Siege. Thursday, I don't know what I'm doing Thursday. I don't know if I'll stream Thursday or what I'm playing Thursday. And Friday, Fight Night Friday, I'm probably playing Strive again.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, but the real question is, Anthony, what are you doing?
What I'm doing? I don't know. I do know. This week is probably gonna be mostly multiplayer games. Taking a week just to play like some shooters and shit. Kill some people online. Tomorrow I'll probably do either Apex or Battlefield. Wednesday is gonna be Rainbow Six Siege.
What you should do, Anthony?
What's up?
Try Strive on Tuesday.
Oh,
I did
Don't
post
blame-
something for you, Anthony, about COD Zombies
oh, you did?
in the games channel. There's a neat little
I
secret that
see.
apparently people didn't know about. Thought you might enjoy it.
Is it a quick thing or?
Yeah, it's quick.
Oh, I'm
I mean, you can just read the title and it tells you what you need to know.
Oh, toss a piece of equipment into the hole before starting it for a free 500 essence? What? Into what hole? Into that? Oh my god, I didn't know that. That's good tech. You know how many times me and Brian have done that event and we never did that? Okay. Well, thanks. I didn't.
Well,
Yep. Which, if you guys haven't played COD Zombies for Call of Duty Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, thank you. I had to do some downloading. Go play it. It's great. And they added a new type of way to play zombies. It's great. Anywho, so yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a bunch of shooters this week. So probably some Apex sometime. Battlefield 4, Siege Wednesday definitely. Or yeah, and that's about it. 3-day weekend coming up.
It is.
July 4th,
Yeah.
Randall, is this weekend.
But what day we get off?
Monday. You should. Because 4th of July is on Sunday, so you would normally get, if it was on Saturday, you would normally get Friday off. If it lands on a Sunday, you would get Monday off. Since it lands on a Sunday, we get Monday off. So yeah, I don't see, the only stream that's going to be happening over the weekend is the July 4th, the Monday one, which is the podcast here. So we'll see you guys same time, same place. But besides that, I don't think I'm going to be streaming over the weekend.
Are you coming through, Brizzle?
I don't know. We had to go see the what's her name's kid. So, and Ignacio's kid.
Oh, so you guys are going this week?
I mean, it's gonna be a go at the same day. Sunday we're going and come back Sunday night.
Oh.
Since we haven't seen their kids,
And what weekend are you guys coming up for the LAN party?
that's not been. I honestly haven't been thought of. Like that's not. Last time someone said LAN didn't show up, so
GM.
Who said LAN and didn't show up?
Jambi.
The guy that looks like
Oh.
a pen control.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not
Yeah,
saying
Jamie
that
can't be
you-
trusted anyway, so that's nothing new.
I'm just making that as an excuse. You guys, I know if you guys say LAN, I would expect you to be at your own house, so you'll be there, and Nick's would go there too. So I'm not saying you guys wouldn't show up.
And Nick would definitely show up. I mean, he'd probably have to either bring his wife and kids down, or he would work something out with his wife that he'd just come down for a weekend.
Yeah,
But if he says he's going to do something, he generally does it.
yeah.
Especially when Skullgirl's on the line. If someone doesn't hold their word
Ooh,
with Skullgirls, lose my number.
lose it. Don't even recuperate. Don't have your friends message me. My number don't exist. Anywho, so yeah, that's probably gonna be what this week is. Bunch of shooting on stream, and that's it. And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, listening, however you digest this podcast. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Bye.
アリーベ・デルチ